This season, as far as Karns goes, they haven't fared quite as well. They're just going 9-10 on the year so far, with the district loss to Powell already. Their most impressive win was a 38-point win over Halls, but since Christmas, they have lost 2 straight games. One of their most recent losses was to Farragut, and the other a 51-44 loss at home to Powell. Oak Ridge is the only team in the district without a loss so far, with district wins over Central, Karns, and Halls. Next week, Oak Ridge will play the 16-2 Campbell County Lady Cougars. Mike Sheehan, one of his favorite trips to make, on Tuesday, and finish the series with Central on Friday. Both games are on the road. And Mike, I think it's apropos that every time it seems like no matter what time of year you go to Campbell County, bad weather follows. It's somehow always cold and rainy or snowy, it seems. Tonight we'd like to thank Mike and Jeff Henderson, who are our individual game sponsors. They're dedicating these games tonight to many of the Wildcats and Lady Wildcats who have passed away. We will, throughout the night, mention many of these Wildcats whose names were sent in to us on Facebook. We'll also keep the stream chat over on our YouTube channel, where we are live, going tonight for any individuals wanting to or who would like to honor departed Wildcat family members or friends, etc. David would also like to honor 3 of these former Wildcats who at one time served on the broadcast crew. Apologies for that. There were some technical difficulties with the arena music. That was not our broadcast. We'll start that part over. David would also like to honor 3 of these former Wildcats who at one time served on the broadcast crew and played sports for Oak Ridge. They include Mike Ray, who was football, Mark Copeland, also a Wildcat football player, and Jim Vines, who played baseball. We want to thank Mike and Jeff Henderson for this fabulous idea. It's been a terrific hit. A lot of people have already joined in. More will throughout the night, we're sure of it. And also for their financial support of our broadcasts, not just tonight, making a contribution, but also throughout the years. They would not want me saying this, but I know, and I speak for Dave as well, when those guys, that family has done so much to help get broadcasts on the air for generations of Wildcats. We thank you, Mike and Jeff Henderson. Tonight's game with Karns are also sponsored in part by the Fox Insurance Group, Jamie Brooks for Anderson County Chancellor, the Oak Ridge Utility District, Washboard Wash and Fold, the Knoxville Orthopedic Clinic, 10 Bank of Oak Ridge, Main Street Lofts, Laura Lynn Green with State Farm, and Mike Kelly with Betsy Coleman Realty. We're on prepradio.com right now at Oak Ridge Schools Television Channel 1082, and of course streaming both games live, where you can catch the audio and the video live on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. It's time for a break. We'll be back to the Wildcat Arena with the starting lineups in just a moment. It's over there.
I don't know what happened with this over here.
Did y'all hit something or just?
No, I didn't. I don't know what.
You all right?
I just realized I wore the very wrong color shirt for tonight.
Same.
Main Street Lofts, a premier rental community to do what you do, enjoy life, and thrive in historic Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Enjoy the lifestyle you deserve with amazing amenities and stunning modern features throughout your apartment home. Our community is sure to please. Enjoy the 24-hour cutting-edge fitness center. Take a dip in our sparkling saltwater swimming pool, or cozy up on a chilly night at our fire pit by our grilling stations. Your furry four-legged friends will surely love exercising in our pet park and getting pampered in our pet spa. Schedule a tour of your new home today or visit us 24/7 at themainstreetlofts.com to view our floor plans and amenities. Our website has our current availability, and you can just apply for your new home from our website. It's time to love where you live.
Chancellor Jamie Brooks has been practicing law in Anderson County for over 30 years. He knows our community, our people, and our values. He's a conservative with the experience and temperament you want in a judge. He listens courteously, considers thoughtfully, and upholds the law. That is why Governor Bill Lee appointed him to the bench. The Republican primary is March 5th. Let's keep Jamie Brooks as our Republican chancellor in Anderson County.
Washboard Wash and Fold Laundry Service is designed to assist customers providing a cost-effective means to having their clothes cleaned and processed. Our wash and fold attendants strive to meet the trust placed on them using a variety of fabric cleaning products of the customer's choice. Our customers have the choice of same-day wash, dry, and fold, or another date that fits their schedule. The Washboard Wash and Fold drop-off service is open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We're located at 113 Robertsville Road in Oak Ridge. After hours, the drop-off box is available for the customers who work late or need to be to work before 8 a.m. We offer our services to an array of the Oak Ridge community, working parents, persons working extended hours, and local businesses. We are proud of our service to ORHS and other local schools and associations. If time is not an issue, stop by and use the self-service laundry at Bob's Washboard Laundry at 113 Robertsville Road in Oak Ridge. Call our staff at 865-951-3237 for any questions you may have.
I'm Mike Kelly with Betsy Coleman Realty. I'm a proud graduate of Oak Ridge High School, class of 1982, and a member of the 1980 state championship football team. As a lifelong resident of Oak Ridge, I would love to put my knowledge of the area to work for you should you have any real estate needs. You can contact me at 865-919-5559 or at betsycolemanrealty.com. Thank you, and roll Wildcats roll.
Come in, discover the difference of an independent insurance agency. Fox Insurance Group, Oak Ridge.
Welcome back to the Wildcat Arena. Alex Myers alongside David Clary, who will be joining us at times tonight, executive producing this one, of course. Nick Suttles up here, Nick L. Ray Suttles, Mike Sheehan, Titus and John doing camera work for us, Ben George helping us out a little bit as well, and of course Mark and Shauna Haste, who are always so helpful. They're not here tonight, but they were nice enough to come by and help set up the equipment so that we could get tonight's broadcast underway. We wish them a great night off, and Dave, we're going to try to give you a little bit of a night off, although, as you like to say, we will not let you retire. So we're gonna make you join us. If you would, Dave, let us know how that volume is, if it's any better at all. And again, for those just joining throughout the night, we're going to be honoring Mike and Jeff Henderson. They sponsored tonight's game, and they wanted us to honor just former Wildcats. Their uncle, the great Buddy Pope, who, Mike, I want you to mention just briefly, and then we'll get to some of these names, passed away about a week ago. So our condolences, our thoughts and prayers go out to Bino, Jeff Henderson, and Mike Henderson's family. And, of course, Ron Henderson as well, who their brother, who is phenomenal from everything I understand, just a phenomenal human, a great former military man. If you could talk about maybe him, if you knew him at all, and then Buddy Pope. I know he was one of your first coaches as well.
He certainly was one of my first coaches. The very first coach I met when I came to Oak Ridge High School, he was my freshman team coach, and you could not ask for a nicer man. I mean, he was just a gentleman in every sense of the way, and he was a great coach above and beyond that. We had a really good freshman team, as I remember, and a lot of it was because of the way he coached and his assistant coaches. And we had a really good season my freshman year here at Oak Ridge High School, and that was in 1964 when I met Buddy Pope.
And the way I understand, he was fairly strict coach, but made sure your priorities were straight.
Absolutely. He was a disciplinarian, and, you know, you don't be jumping off sides or getting stupid penalties like personal fouls and things like that. You would run till dark if you did that. And thank goodness I wasn't a dirty player, so I didn't have to run a whole lot because of him. I ran because I wanted to.
We appreciate you sharing some of that with us, Mike. As we get set for this Lady Wildcats game against Karns, I mentioned Mike and Jeff Henderson. They don't want us to mention their name a lot. They would be mad that I've done it as much as I have, but I want folks to know that this was their idea, what we're doing tonight. And what we're doing tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is we're honoring former Wildcats who have passed on and who are no longer with us and able to take in Oak Ridge sports, but they loved Oak Ridge sports and they were part of this community, and want to remember them and honor them tonight. So if you hear a name, we'd love to hear about it that you loved. Go thank Mike and Jeff Henderson if you get a chance to see them, or shoot them a message if you know them and tell them what this means to you. We will be naming those names, if you have a name and you haven't already given it to David Clary, what you could do, we invite you to go to our YouTube channel. Just search Prep Radio Oak Ridge. You'll see the live video and you can go and put a comment of the name of the former Wildcat. You can put the sport they played or sports they played. But, Mike, you have a few of those to start out with, and, again, we'll be reading these names all throughout the night.
Thank you, Alec. It's a pleasure to read these names of ex-Oak Ridge players. Gary Dotson played football. David Weber, football and baseball. Ray White, football. Randy Booker, football. Mike Roach, football. Mike Brazil, football. John Wheeler, football. Mike Brewster, football. Coach Paul Brewster, football. Dr. Joe Tittle, team physician. Kevin Hunt, football. Tom Hamrick, public address announcer, played football here at Oak Ridge High School. David Robinson, baseball, football, and track, 74 through 77. Scott Jenkins, football. David McGaha, one of the all-time favorite managers here at Oak Ridge High School. Charles Ivy, football, one of my favorite players back during my day. Lauren French, a soccer player. Jimmy Campbell, football, 80 to 83.
Thank you very much, Mike. We will, I've told David Clary, I've told you, Mike Sheehan, we're going to try to get all these names a couple of times, once in the girls' game, once in the boys' game, but we'll see. There's a lot of names, over 120 names that David got, I think, by Friday. And, of course, there's been a little bit more time between Friday and this game, and so we certainly hope that number climbs as high as we can possibly get it. We want to honor all the former Wildcats because we talk about this all the time. That's what makes Oak Ridge such a special community when it comes to sports is the legacy that's been left. And you don't have a legacy unless someone builds it, and the foundation is just been giants of sports here locally. We're going to turn the mics around and let you hear the national anthem as we get set just moments away from the Lady Wildcats and Lady Beavers. Thank you, Miss Teresa Seals. Always a great, terrific, and clean edition of the Star-Spangled Banner. As we get set to go here from the Wildcat Arena, again, coming into this ball game, Lady Wildcats a little bit more of an impressive record than the Lady Beavers, but Lady Beavers 2-1 on the season in region play. Again, Lady Wildcats, the only remaining unbeaten team in region play at 3-0. First up, number 3, Abby Harris, the senior center for Karns. Next up, number 5, Lauren Martin. She's a junior guard for Karns. She is followed by number 10, Riley Roberts. She is a junior guard. Fourth starter for Karns is Reese Roberts, another junior guard. And the fifth and final starter for Karns, number 24, Kiki Clay, the freshman forward. Brought some pretty good height to her. Again, just a freshman, though. This is not the most depth we'll see out of a team. Looking at the roster, Oak Ridge almost has double the amount of players. They've got 9 players, does Karns. Oak Ridge, you can hear the crowd coming to their feet. First starter at guard, it's a junior, Ayanna Porter. Guard for the Wildcats, she wears number 10. Next up for Oak Ridge, number 12, Ulisha Mitchell, 5'8" freshman. Wing player for Oak Ridge, wearing number 12. Next up, number 20, Paige Lawling, a 5'10" sophomore forward. Fourth starter for Oak Ridge is number 22, freshman 5'8", Janaea Pippins. And the fifth and final starter is number 34, a 5'10" junior forward, Jenna Johnson. Of course, Paige Redmond, the coach for the Lady Wildcats, and for the Beavers, you might recognize that familiar face. Well, of course, one of the former Oak Ridge assistant under Coach Paige, Taylor, and she was here, goodness, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years, and she takes over the Karns program for her second season. As we talked earlier in the pregame broadcast, really did a terrific job in her first year, changing the culture, changing everything around, turning them into a winning program. They made the regions, lost in the first round to a very good, well-coached Farragut team, and now they're back this year. Not quite as good of a record, but still 2-1 in region play. A lot of basketball left to go. Jenna Johnson trying to jump for this jump ball. It's tipped around and controlled by the Karns Lady Beavers, who break it across half court. As we watch in our perch at the Wildcat Arena, they move right to left, as you see it on your YouTube screen. Jenna Johnson comes out of there with the rebound off the Karns miss. She passes it ahead, and here come the Lady Wildcats setting things up. They move left to right, shooting towards the goal, going away from the high school towards the Oak Ridge pool, if you're familiar with the landscape here. As Jenna Johnson gets it underneath, turnaround shot is no good. It was a short off the mark, and Karns comes out of there with it. With it is Lauren Martin, trying to break a little token one-man press from Oak Ridge. And 40 seconds into this ball game, 7:20 left to play in the first. It's 0-0. Karns has it. Little free throw line stop, pop jumper, off back rim, no good. Jenna Johnson grabs her second board of the game. She wants to push the pace. Lady Wildcats have the numbers. Here comes Ulisha Mitchell, rattles it in, and the Lady Wildcats strike first. 2-0 with 7 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Lauren Trent barking out signals from her perch. That's the head coach of these Lady Beavers. Karns breaks the press after a few seconds of struggle. They get into the front court. Another long shot was rebounded momentarily by Jenna Johnson. It was tipped out of bounds after a scrum for it. They're going to say Jenna touched it last. So Karns will take the ball, keep possession rather, underneath their own, the Lady Wildcat basket. And they break it out. Three-point shot, off the mark, way off, and Lawling comes out of there with it. She gets it to Porter. Porter looking to push the pace. Brings it up into the front court. Here's Ulisha Mitchell. She's doubled, she's fouled, no call. They get it inside to Jenna Johnson. Jenna Johnson, tough shot. She can't get it to go, but she gets it to Paige Lawling, who got the rebound off the Jenna Johnson miss. She was hacked on the way up. She'll go to the line for 2 free throws after the shot was no good. Mike, back and forth, pretty exciting basketball game to get started here.
Absolutely, a lot of hustle going on by the Wildcats, and good to see Ulisha Mitchell get the game started off with a 2-pointer as the first free throw is missed.
0 for 1 from the charity stripe. That's Oak Ridge's first free throw. First free throw of the game for either team. 6:31 to go here in the first quarter. Lady Wildcats up 2-0. And it will remain that way as the second free throw from Long is missed. Jenna Johnson tries to save the rebound. Right. She does. A great attempt. And Ayanna Porter comes out of there with it. So the Lady Wildcats steal a possession. They're working against a zone of Karns, and they throw the ball away underneath. Karns switches to a zone there. And with 6:20 to play after Oak Ridge turns the ball over, the Lady Beavers will get it back. It is a press all the way here for the Lady Wildcats. Looks like a 1-2-2 press as Karns tries to break it. They do with some nice passing. They get it into the front court. Out left wing for 3, off the mark, no good, and out of there with it comes Pippins. Janaea Pippins crossing half court, pushing over to the right side. There's Ulisha Mitchell. She's going to be doubled in the right corner. Deflected was the ball, and it's going to roll out of bounds. It will remain Lady Wildcat basketball underneath the Karns Lady Beaver goal. And with basically 2 minutes into this game, 6:01 remaining in the first.
Karns playing some really tough defense inside. They're not allowing these easy passes for the Lady Wildcats.
Still 2-0. And Paige Lawing misses the shot off the inbound. She had a point-blank range layup, but she was short. She's almost too far underneath the goal, but she was smacked, so she will go after the miss to the free throw line for 2. She was 0 for 2 a moment ago. Mike, it'd be a great chance for her to get on the board right here.
Absolutely. You need these free ones.
And she rattles the first one, and she gets a nice shooter's roll and kind of laughs it off like, hey, thankfully that one finally went in, and she'll get another one here momentarily. Wow. And that one's good. So 0 for 2. And then she goes 2 for 2. It's 4-0 the lead for the Lady Wildcats. Here comes Karns. They break the press, finally get it across half court. Nice passing once again for the Lady Beavers. Into the front court they go. Free throw line extended. I think Karns got away with a walk. Coach Taylor wanted a walk. I agree with her there. And here comes Karns. Underneath, left layup, low good off the left side. Jenna Johnson with a strong rebound. That's her 4th of the game. She says, let's push the pace, ladies, and they do just that. Into the front court race to Lady Wildcats. Porter has it at the top of the press. It looks like a 3-2 zone, not press, zone. After some difficult passing, Lady Wildcats get it into a left-handed layup off the left side. That's no good, but it looks like Janaea Pippins was hammered on the head, so her shot was off the mark, but now we know why, and she'll go to the line. Already this will be Oak Ridge's 5th and 6th free throw attempts, Mike. Yeah. Karns with 3 fouls, all 3 shooting fouls. Lady Wildcats have not committed a foul. The first free throw was missed.
Need to make these free throws and stay in this game. You know, the Lady Cats are playing super defense. They have allowed Karns absolutely nothing, and they have nothing.
Here comes another offensive rebound for Oak Ridge. Porter, 3, no good, and a nice save in there from Oak Ridge. Nice hustle, but wow, Oak Ridge is going to get it back again. I think Oak Ridge thinks Karns has the ball, but they say no, Oak Ridge has it. I don't know if I agree with that call, but as an Oak Ridge fan, I'll take it. Porter to inbound underneath the Lady Beavers goal. She gets it into Jenna Johnson. Jenna, layup, no good, and Karns comes out of there with it. Oak Ridge is getting good looks. They haven't all fallen, but they're getting good opportunities, Mike.
Yes, they are. Really, Jenna's really demanding the ball, and she's getting it and putting it into the right hands. Hopefully the Lady Wildcats start making their shots a little bit better.
And there's Jenna's 4th rebound. She is really playing with a great energy tonight is Jenna Johnson. Karns misses, Johnson gets the rebound. Here comes Ulisha Mitchell. Ooh, nice move. Takes it, tried to finish through contact, no call, and she missed the layup. Now Karns says, let's push it the other way. Here it comes, and it's going to be a jump ball. Another girl having a nice game so far. She hasn't gotten on the board, but she has really helped the White Lady Wildcats push this pace, and that is none other than Ulisha Mitchell.
That was a good hustle play by Alicia that time, Dave.
And it creates a turnover because of the jump ball, and here come the Lady Wildcats. 4:32 to go in the opening quarter. Lady Wildcats lead Karns 4-0. Here comes Pippins. Pippins triple team, and she's going to try to throw it to a teammate desperately, and it's stolen away. So here comes Karns with it, the freshman center, Kiki Clay. Clay's going to hand it off to a guard, and that layup is up and good off the glass from the right side. That's Reese Roberts who gets Karns on the board first. Quickly, the Lady Wildcats race the other way. Jenna Johnson, layup, good. 6-2. The Lady Wildcats lead it with 4:04 remaining in the opening quarter. Karns now breaking the press. Here comes a deep 3 off the back on Klang, no good, and it's Mitchell with the rebound. She picked up her dribble. Lady Wildcats don't realize it. She's going to need to call timeout, and Coach Paige Taylor does just that. So with 3:54 to go here in the opening quarter, Lady Wildcats lead at 6-2. Mike, as Mike and Jeff Henderson have continued their support. They want to honor all former Wildcats and Lady Wildcats who have passed. Mike, if you will continue to read some of these names, starting with Kevin Helton, who played football.
Kevin Helton, Mike Coffey, football. Matt Fry, football. Ira Green, a great basketball coach, won a state championship. James Buddy Scott, football. Jim's Ridings, baseball and basketball. Jerry Batson, track and basketball. Jimmy Martin, basketball. Don Stevens, football and basketball. Gerald Bryant, football and track. Don Stennett, football and track. Herbert Tripp, football, basketball and track. Tommy Walbrecht, football. Leland James, football. And Melvin Bo Herring, football and track.
Bobo Harry. Thank you, Mike. As Lady Wildcats take out of that timeout, and the ball's nearly stolen away. Is it? Now Karns has it. They've got numbers. And Oak Ridge races back on defense.
Oh,
Great scrum, great
man.
hustle from the Lady Wildcats to stop a fast break. Lady Wildcats are the more aggressive team right now. There's no doubt, Mike.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. And, I hate it for Reese Roberts because she got hit in the mouth, and that had to hurt.
And I don't think the
She's
official.
recovering, and she's still checking to see if she's bleeding or not.
Hopefully she's not. Thankfully, she seemed to be okay. I don't think the officials saw that. I didn't see it when it happened, but I think there was a few people diving for the ball, and I think it happened there. Hard screen sets up Reese for a easy layup, but she missed it. And who comes out of there? Jenna Johnson with her 5th or 6th rebound. I'm losing count. She tries to push the pace, gets it to Ayana Porter, and it was slapped out of her hands, out of bounds. So the possession will remain with the Lady Wildcats. 6-2 the score, 3:21 to go. Alex Myers, Mike Sheehan, Nick Suttles, Titus, John Ulrich with us. Titus, I'm going to have to learn your last name so I can actually say it every now and then. David Clary with us producing. He'll join us at some point tonight in the broadcast. A missed shot from Oak Ridge, and now Karns has the ball. They come back the other way with it. Lady Beavers thought about a 3. They're going to step in just inside the arc. That shot's off the mark, no good. Jenna Johnson, another rebound. That's her 6th or 7th. We're going to have to find the stats. She is having a monster game. She passed it up to Pippins, who turns around after she was hacked to lay the ball up. In the NBA, that would have counted continuation, and she'd be going to an and one opportunity. Unfortunately, at this level, they do not give her that. They say she was fouled before the shot, and so the score remains 6-2 with 2:55 to go. Lady Wildcats with the lead, inbounding underneath the Karns basket. Trying to get it to Lawing, can't get it. They give it to Jenna instead. Jenna kicks out to Porter, wide open 3, Dessels it in, good. And they're going to say it's a 2. Her feet were on the line just barely. But a nice shot there, nice play off the inbound. Good unselfish kick out by Jenna Johnson. That sets up Porter for the shot. It's 8-2 now. Lady Wildcats lead it, 2:35 to go in the opening quarter. Karns breaking the press, but not easily. They finally get it in. They're going to try to lay up off the right side. Good, and the foul. It was Lauren Martin, the junior guard for these Lady Beavers. Coach Lauren Trent talking to one of her veteran guards, Riley Roberts, the junior, giving her some notes. As another junior guard of hers goes and completes the old-fashioned three-point play. Lauren Martin scoring again for the Lady Beavers. Good defense here as they extend that zone. Now Oak Ridge breaks it. They got an opportunity as Porter drives. She's going to kick. Ulisha Mitchell, 3, in and out, no good. And who comes out of there with it? Janaea Pippins. She gets it back to Mitchell. Up top, right side. Porter, long 3, off the rim, no good. That looked good from here, just a little bit off the mark. And Karns now running back the other way across the midcourt stripe. They're going to kick out. Thought about a 3 from Riley, and she makes a long pass. That's a mistake. Here comes Janaea Pippins. Layup good. 10-5, Oak Ridge extends their lead. 1:53 to go here in the first quarter. And these teams, both, Mike, are playing some really hard defense.
They really are. They're just really all over each other. And the Wildcats are starting to score now. Jenna has her first 2 of the night.
There's another block that time by Ulisha Mitchell as Kiki Clay, the freshman, tried to drive left side, and Ulisha Mitchell, a freshman, says, hey, you're not the only freshman out here that can make plays. I can do it too. And she blocks it out of bounds. But after that swat, Lady Beavers will retain possession, throwing it in underneath the Lady Wildcat basket. Trailing 10-5 is Karns with 1:40 to go in the opening quarter. Lady Beavers with it. Power dribble off the right side. Nice footwork. Did she walk, though? She did not. They're going to call Oak Ridge with the foul. They're going to get Lindsay Cleveland with a foul. Lindsay is an interesting story. So she is a name you're familiar with if you're a Lady Wildcat fan from the past. Was not on the team previously, just rejoined the team very recently. A 5'4" junior. And, people will tell you, Mike, she is one of the best defenders the Lady Wildcats have. Trying to make her impact there. But she got called for a foul. First free throw was up and no good, as it looks like it was Reese Roberts, the junior guard, missed the first one, and she does hit the second one, though, goes 1 for 2 and brings the Lady Beavers within 4. It's 10-6, 1:33 to go here in the opening quarter. Ulisha Mitchell with it across half court, passes to Porter. Porter drives middle, kicks right side. Cleveland's got a 3 if she wants it. She pump fakes, drives, kicks out to Porter. White ring 3, nothing but the bottom of the net. And Porter gives the Lady Wildcats their biggest lead, a 7-point lead here with 1:15 to go. That was a beautiful shot.
Yeah, absolutely. Just nothing but nylon. A beautiful arcing shot.
Karns trying to respond now as the Lady Wildcats extend their lead, the biggest they've had it all ball game. Lindsey Cleveland playing good defense. Now Mitchell playing defense on a three-point shooter, forces a miss, and again Jenna Johnson with the rebound, and then she keeps doing what she's been doing, which is pushing the pace. She starts the break, and it's to no avail. Lady Wildcats have to kick it back out. They find Johnson underneath, 3-foot shot, no good. Lawings tips it out to Porter, who's fouled. Count that bucket, and a foul. 15-6 the score now as Reese Roberts called for her second foul here in the first quarter. Ayanna Porter just made a triple. She makes the two. She can make a third point on this possession with the old-fashioned three-point play. Does she do it? You bet she does, and it's 16-6. The Lady Wildcats have opened up a 10-point lead with 40 seconds to go in the opening quarter. This one is starting to get away from Karns, it feels like, Mike.
Yeah, Oak Ridge is really starting to shoot much better now. They've settled down and are tough on offense right now.
This is the best I've seen the Lady Wildcats. Now, I haven't seen every game, but this is one of the better performances I've seen offensively to start a game for Oak Ridge. Now, speaking of offense, Karns, Riley Roberts nails a deep, deep three, a couple steps beyond the arc. And that was nothing but net. So Karns with a little bit of momentum, and then Lauren Trent says, we're going to take a quick timeout here, try to steal back some of that momentum before the end of the half. So it's 16-9, 20.9 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Mike, is this your first time seeing the Lady Wildcats in person this year? How many times have you gotten to see them?
I saw them over at Powell, and they had a tremendous game over there. They trailed that entire game, Alec, till 41 seconds left. They tied the game up. They went ahead, and they never gave up the lead. And they defeated a really good Powell team over there at Powell early on in the season. I mean, this team, they scrap, buddy. I'm telling you. I love the way they get after it. And Jenna Johnson right now has just been a beast with rebounds. I bet she's got 9 rebounds.
I think she's got at least 8, I think is what we're counting.
She has been outstanding tonight early on here in the first quarter, up 16-9.
Thank you very much, Mike. 15 seconds to go. Lady Wildcats inbound it, and it's kicked at the top of the key. That's the right call. Karns, freshman, does not like the call. It's the right call, though. Good defensive effort by her to break up the flow of the offense, but Lady Wildcats retain possession with 12 seconds to go. They'll inbound it from the side on their side of half court. They throw it behind the backcourt line, and here's Porter. Bring it across the midcourt stripe, gets it to Cleveland. Right side. Is the threes there? No, she's going to kick it around. Left wing, three-pointer, no good. Jenna Johnson gets the rebound in midair, throws the ball up, and makes the shot all before her feet ever hit the ground. What an athletic play from the junior for Oak Ridge, and it gives Oak Ridge an 18-9 lead as we go to the second quarter. While we've got a break, let's keep it right here. Let's add to some more names, and Mike, I want you to stop me when you know some of these names. Sam Weir, football and basketball. Jack Shelton, football, basketball, and track. Don Summer, basketball and track. Freddie Ware played football. David Carroll ran track. Randy Nicholson played baseball. There was Jody Dunlap, tennis. Sammy Simmons, who played baseball. Kurt Delcourt, baseball. Bobby Hopkins, football, basketball, and of course baseball.
He was one of the best athletes ever to come through Oak Ridge High School.
Bobby Hopkins Field, of course, named after him.
I mean, that guy was a tremendous athlete.
Jim Grubb, football, basketball, and baseball. Howard Moon ran track. Tommy Chilton, track and baseball. Bethel Poston played football, basketball, baseball, and track. I'd say that was a pretty good athlete right there. Regina Moore, cheerleading. Kim Hunter Tisdale, basketball player and coach. We're doing this all night long, folks. We're honoring former Wildcats and Lady Wildcats. If you haven't got a name into David Clare and you want to honor somebody, Mike and Jeff Henderson sponsored this game. It was their idea to do this sort of thing, and we want to continue to do that all night long. If you want to add a name, just go to our YouTube channel where we're broadcasting the stream live right now. Go to the comments section, type out the name that you want to honor, and we can work that into our broadcast tonight. Start of the second quarter. It's 18-9 Lady Wildcats with ball and possession. And they're swinging it around, and they turn the ball over just in front of the Karns bench. Ayanna Porter could not quite reach the pass. It was a little bit behind her. 10 seconds into this quarter, 18-9. Mike, this has been a very high-energy game from both teams.
It certainly has. You know, it's been intense. I mean, they're really playing tough defense on both ends of the floor, both the Beavers and the Wildcat.
Here are the Karns cheerleaders and Oak Ridge cheerleaders going back and forth right now. Ayanna Porter swats at a ball. I thought she got mostly ball, but she must have got a little bit of skin as they called her for a foul underneath. She was trying to block the shot of the much taller center, Abby Harris, a senior for Karns. And she did get enough of the ball to force a miss, but they said that she got some skin there, and so they called the foul. That is Oak Ridge's first team foul of the quarter. Remember, instead of going to 7 before we get to the bonus, they reset it every quarter, Mike. And all it takes is 5 fouls to get to the bonus. Once you're there is no 1-and-1. It's 2 shots for everybody. So Karns had more fouls in that first quarter, but now they're reset to 0. First shot was good. Second shot off back rim, no good. Lindsay Cleveland comes out of there with the rebound. She pushes it up to the left side. That's Porter. Porter coming off the Jenna Johnson screen, working against this 2-3 defense of Karns. It's kind of extended defense right now. Get it into the corner. They try to work it in the middle to Jenna Johnson. The pass wasn't there. Cleveland tried to force it, and now Karns is going to give it right back. Pass wasn't quite there in the middle. You want to work the ball in the middle to the zone, but that time Karns playing with their arms out. They just wasn't there.
Yeah, that collapsing defense, that 3-2 they had, they were able to slap the ball away in the passing zone and knock it out of bounds. But the Wildcats recover as they bring it up the floor now, leading 18-10 with 7:13 here in the second quarter.
Porter with it, trying to dribble past the zone. She does. She gets inside the free throw line. Little 8-footer, soft touch, and she gets the ball to go. Ayanna Porter playing really, really good right now. Really playing well and playing some good basketball. That shot from Karns is no good. She gets her own rebound. That's Reese. She kicks it out to her sister. Off the back rim, no good. Who comes out of there with it? Porter momentarily. Now Karns takes it away. They launch a shot. That's no good. Karns now, the 4th time they've got possession. 3 offensive rebounds in this possession. Reese, corner 3, way off the mark, no good. Jenna Johnson tried to strip it. Karns gets the ball back again. Another rebound. This time Jenna Johnson finally seals it. I don't know that another Lady Wildcat has a defensive rebound outside of Jenna Johnson, Mike.
I don't think so either. She's been dominant.
Here comes Lawling with it. Porter thought about a 3. She's got the hot hand, certainly had the green light. Instead, she gives to Mitchell. Mitchell up top. That 3's off the mark. 20-10 the score. Karns gets possession after the missed 3. 6:18 to go. Lady Wildcats up big so far. And Mike, this has been a really impressive performance from their offense. But as every game Coach Paige Taylor coaches, it all has started with the great defensive effort.
Alana Porter's already got 10 for the Lady Wildcat.
As many points as Karns has total until that bucket fell. Keiki Clay got a little 8-foot floater to hit from the side, and she brings Karns within 8. Lady Wildcats the other way. Pippins turns it over. She tried to pass it to Mitchell, and Lady Beaver stepped in front of that pass. Here comes Reese, top of the key, deep 3. That's way off the mark, short. Airballed, and it goes into the hands of an innocent cheerleader from Oak Ridge who just, hey, I'm just trying to do my job, and now there's a basketball come flying at me, but she hands it to the ref, and Lady Wildcats get the ball back. Mike, I'm in a goofy mood, which many would say, well, that's kind of just your personality, period, but we're going to try to get through it regardless. 20-12 the score, 5:39 to go in this opening quarter. Mike, it's great to be back on a broadcast with you. Haven't seen you in a booth since football season.
That's right. I'm glad to be here. Thank you, Alec.
Here's Lindsley Cleveland, left side. She's a little strong on the 3. Great hustle from Porter. Saves it into Jenna Johnson, who puts the basket up. Jenna Johnson gets the credit, but that bucket goes, a lot of that bucket really goes to Porter, who saved and dove out of the bounds, sacrificing her body to get that rebound. Jenna Johnson with 6 points now, at least 9 boards, we think. It's closing in on a double-double before halftime if she's not careful. Here comes Reese, driving right side, floater off the back rim, no good, and blocked by Jenna Johnson. She gets her own rebound, though, underneath, misses a shot, gets another rebound, and Abby Harris doing work but can't get the shot to fall for Karns. So here comes Oak Ridge with it, right side. Mitchell thought about a 3. She's going to try to take her girl right side. Good defense from the freshman. Porter with it up top now. She launches a 3, no good. Jenna Johnson, another rebound. That's double digits for Mrs. Jenna Johnson.
Easy.
Here comes the pass, an errant pass, and it's going to be stolen from Karns. Reese, easy layup on the other side. That is Riley Reese, who gets the easiest bucket either team has had all ball game long with the run-out layup off the Oak Ridge turnover. 4:20 to go here in the second quarter. Oak Ridge up by 8. 22-14 the score. Mitchell driving, free throw line. Kicks out, left side, 3! In and out, no good. Lindsay Cleveland with it momentarily. Now Jenna Johnson kicks it back outside. Porter, she's going to drive in. Kicks to Cleveland. Wide open 3 on the right side. That's no good. Jenna Johnson scrambling for the rebound. Karns, a tough play, nice play. They come out of there with it, and they want to push the pace, but now they don't have numbers. Here comes Reese. She's going to try to lay up off the right side. That's no good. And there's Kiki Clay with another offensive rebound for Karns. She passes it back out to a teammate. 3, good. Lauren Martin. And it appears, Mike, as they would say, she's a shooter.
Yes, she is, and she busted that one. 17-22 now. Wildcats up.
With 3:35 to go. Here's a deep 3 from Mitchell, and Mitchell's played really well.
Mercy.
But I think that was just a I've got tired legs shot from Mitchell. And typically when you got tired legs, you don't want to be taking deep threes. And she was short on that one. But Lindsay Cleveland, who's rejoined the team we mentioned a moment ago very recently, she gets the offensive rebound and was hacked on the way back up. So she gets 2 shots at the free throw line. Now Micaiah Dowdell, another former Wildcat, is mentoring Elisha Mitchell, the freshman right now, probably saying what we were saying, which is, hey, we can get a better shot than that. Lindsay Cleveland's first free throw, she was rewarded. She makes it. She's got 1 more to go. Cleveland in there with Paige Lawing, Jenna Johnson, Ayanna Porter, and Janaea Pippins. Here comes Lindsay Cleveland's second free throw. Pure, nothing but net. 24-17 the score. 3:30 to go in the second quarter. As we inch closer to half, again, this game postponed after it was supposed to be played yesterday, but Knox County canceled school for wind and rain threats. Maybe the wind caught that pass, Mike. It was just an errant pass that nobody touched. You just threw it out of bounds, and, hey, the Lady Wildcats say, we like playing good defense, but if we don't really have to do anything and you're going to throw the ball out of bounds, we'll take it. 3:15 to go here before half. Lady Wildcats with a 24-17 lead. Slowly working the ball across half court is Ayanna Porter. Swings it right side, Cleveland. Cleveland pump fakes, working against this 2-3 zone. Gets it into Paige. Paige Lawings passes it out. Left side, wide open 3. Porter, good. It's a 10-point lead for the Lady Wildcats. 2:57 to go before the break. Ayanna Porter, Mike, we need the scoring total on her. She is having a standout performance on the offensive end.
She's got 12 right now. You know, we still got plenty of time here in the second quarter.
You got plenty of time to get your names if you want to honor a former Lady Wildcat or Wildcat. It doesn't matter the sport. Or even if they were just a fan or, a former teacher or coach, anything like that. You can go to the chat on our Prep Radio YouTube channel. Drop a name in the comments section. David Clary is monitoring that for us, and we can name those, rattle those off as the night goes along. We'll be taking names through this game, between games, and through the boys' games as Karns gets a little scoop. Nice looking shot off the right side to go. They bring it back within single digits. Here it is. Paige kicks out to Porter. Porter drives against a couple of girls. Her shot is way off the mark, and she kind of knows it. She made a face after that one. And, hey, sometimes you take a shot and you go, well, that was just off.
Well, she lofted that one all the way over the goal, and it went, all the way over the top of the goal and to the back, out of bounds.
27-19 the score. Oak Ridge in the lead, 2:09 to go, here in the second quarter. Here's Reese with it. Left wing, trying to work it in. It's not there. Give it to a guard and back up to Reese. She's going to launch a long 3. Wow! Bottom. That was a pretty shot. Riley Roberts. One thing about this Karns, as she got 6 points now, one thing about this Karns team, they are not afraid to take and make the three-pointer in it, not just at the line. They're not toeing the line. There's no doubt about these. They are three-point deep shots. Here comes Jenna Johnson. Jenna Johnson has just been so consistent in this game. There's another bucket for her. She's got how many, Mike?
8.
She's got 8.
She has 8 now.
1:30 to go, 90 seconds left before halftime. Oak Ridge on the defensive end. Did they come up with a steal? Nearly. A tie-up, perhaps? Mr. Referee, help us out if you can. 5-second count is on. What defense possession? And then Oak Ridge is going to get called for a foul. As Paige Lawing is going to get called for it. No, they're finally going to call it on the offense. I think perhaps a screen. I'm not sure exactly what happened. I thought they might get called for a moving screen earlier in the possession, but it was 3 or 4 seconds later when that foul was called. I'm not sure what the call was, but Oak Ridge gets the ball back. 1:17 to go. I'll take it. 29-22, the 7-point lead for the Lady Wildcats. Inside against this zone. Johnson kicks out to Cleveland. Left side runner, no good, and there's a tie-up momentarily, and Elisha Mitchell comes out of there with the rebound. The ferociousness and just aggressiveness with which the Lady Wildcats are hustling for loose balls is to be commended. Johnson in it, free throw line. Swings back out top of the key to Porter. Drains another 3. Ayanna Porter for 3. 32-22, the Lady Wildcats in the lead. And Reese is unhappy, it appears, talking to Coach Lauren Trent. She's frustrated, and I don't blame her, because Lady Wildcats, it has been a non-stop onslaught from beyond the arc for both of these teams, Mike.
Absolutely. That was a frustration foul that time by Jenna. That's her first. It's no big deal. But Lady Wildcats really playing tough defense. Up 32-22 with 32 seconds left in the first half.
Please turn them over.
32 seconds to go after the turnover. Now Lady Wildcats get it back. And I think with a 10-point lead, if I'm Coach Taylor, which thankfully I'm not, she's got a tremendous record, so I'm glad that she's the coach, not me. But if I was her, I think I'd say, let's slow this down, get one possession, and at worst, we go up half, up by 10. Lady Wildcats, not in a hurry, but it doesn't look like they're settling for the last shot. Jenna Johnson gets a layup off the mark, no good. Karns comes out of there with the rebound, 15 seconds to go, and now they'll have an opportunity for the last shot. I don't mind taking a shot early if it's wide open, but that was a tough shot. Instead, Karns gets the rebound. Now, there's a fight for it, a scram. Jenna Johnson had sole possession of the ball, but somehow they call a jump ball. That was a little bit of a cop-out of a call because two players were diving for it, but Jenna was the only one with possession. And they call a jump ball, so them's the breaks, as they say. 3.7 seconds to go. Karns will get the ball back just in front of Oak Ridge's bench, trying to throw it in. Here's a steal from Porter momentarily. Reese gets it back, but she's way too far to shoot. She just hands the ball to the Mr. Referee, and that's your half. 32-22 the score as we head to the break. Oak Ridge on top of Karns in what has been an incredibly exciting basketball game. First half of basketball from the Lady Wildcats and Lady Beavers. Mike, your opening thoughts before we send it to David Clary for a commercial break. Your opening thoughts on that half.
Well, there's just been a lot of hustle plays. They're really getting after it. Both teams really fighting for the ball offensively and defensively. This has been a very exciting game. Karns has definitely got some good shooters. Reese Roberts got 6, and then Riley Roberts has 6, and she's got 2 3-pointers. So this Karns team's not going to give up. They're going to come out scrapping. I'm enjoying watching this game. It's been very exciting.
And before we go to break, we want to remind you we are naming off names. Some you may have never heard of, some you may recognize from Wildcat and Lady Wildcat lore throughout the channels of history here in the Secret City. Mike and Jeff Henderson sponsored this game, and what they wanted to do, their idea, instead of just honoring their late brother, as they typically do, they have decided to honor all former Wildcats and Lady Wildcats, anybody really that played for or loved Oak Ridge sports who's no longer with us, no longer able to consume Oak Ridge sports. So in Ron's name, in Ron Henderson, their brother, Mike and Jeff Henderson's brother, Ron, in his name, and also want to tip of the cap to and mention Buddy Pope, of course, which was their uncle, related to the great Jackie Pope, of course, who passed away about a week ago, a brother of Jackie Pope. Thank you, Mike. So they honor Ron Henderson and Buddy Pope, but they also want to honor any Wildcat or Lady Wildcat that has come before and is no longer with us. Now, if you would like to add someone you know who thinks you want to, hey, I want to throw their name out there and get them in the broadcast, just head over to our YouTube channel. Just search for Prep Radio Oak Ridge on YouTube, and you can go to our live stream where you'll see the game and hear us talking, and you can just put a comment of a name, and David Clary can get to those momentarily. I want to mention a few of them that we have, and then we'll go to a break. Charlie Green played football. Kevin Callia, of course, one of the fields up there at the baseball complex named after him. Alex Fagan, who played basketball here 15 years or so ago. Charles Ty played basketball from 62 to 64. Sam Hurt, who played football. Eli Noe, who played baseball. Steve Britton, who played basketball. Daryl McClanahan, who played basketball. Another basketball player, Johnny Golden. Newell Lane, who played basketball and baseball. Michael Showboat Hall. Edward Henderson. Rufus Shepard, who played football. Dick Truitt, who played football in 1962. Joey Kosak, who played football and basketball. Kenny Williams, who played football. Roger Higginbotham, who played football. Jeff Calder, who played baseball. Jimmy Sumner, who played from 1949 to 1951. Keith Guthrie, former head coach of mine at Robertsville. He was a former Wildcat, a tremendous coach, an even better man. He played football and baseball. Wade Davis played basketball, and Mike Ray, who played football. David Clary, if you can hear us over the loud, loud music at the Wildcat Arena, we're going to send it off for a 2-minute commercial break.
Main Street Lofts, a premier rental community to do what you do, enjoy life, and thrive in historic Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Enjoy the lifestyle you deserve with amazing amenities and stunning modern features throughout your apartment home. Our community is sure to please. Enjoy the 24-hour cutting-edge fitness center. Take a dip in our sparkling saltwater swimming pool, or cozy up on a chilly night at our fire pit by our grilling stations. Your furry four-legged friends will surely love exercising in our pet park and getting pampered in our pet spa. Schedule a tour of your new home today or visit us 24/7 at themainstreetlofts.com to view our floor plans and amenities. Our website has our current availability, and you can just apply for your new home from our website. It's time to love where you live.
Chancellor Jamie Brooks has been practicing law in Anderson County for over 30 years. He knows our community, our people, and our values. He's a conservative with the experience and temperament you want in a judge. He listens courteously, considers thoughtfully, and upholds the law. That is why Governor Bill Lee appointed him to the bench. The Republican primary is March 5th. Let's keep Jamie Brooks as our Republican chancellor in Anderson County.
Washboard Wash and Fold Laundry Service is designed to assist customers providing a cost-effective means to having their clothes cleaned and processed. Our wash and fold attendants strive to meet the trust placed on them using a variety of fabric cleaning products of the customer's choice. Our customers have the choice of same-day wash, dry, and fold, or another date that fits their schedule. The Washboard Wash and Fold drop-off service is open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We're located at 113 Robertsville Road in Oak Ridge. After hours, the drop-off box is available for the customers who work late or need to be to work before 8 a.m. We offer our services to an array of the Oak Ridge community, working parents, persons working extended hours, and local businesses. We are proud of our service to ORHS and other local schools and associations. If time is not an issue, stop by and use the self-service laundry at Bob's Washboard Laundry at 113 Robertsville Road in Oak Ridge. Call our staff at 865-951-3237 for any questions you may have.
I'm Mike Kelly with Betsy Coleman Realty. I'm a proud graduate of Oak Ridge High School, class of 1982, and a member of the 1980 state championship football team. As a lifelong resident of Oak Ridge, I would love to put my knowledge of the area to work for you should you have any real estate needs. You can contact me at 865-919-5559 or at betsycolemanrealty.com. Thank you, and roll Wildcats roll.
Come in, discover the difference of an independent insurance agency, Fox Insurance Group, Oak Ridge.
I gotta go salt stuff at work, salt sidewalks and stuff. I'm gonna have to go tomorrow. It's supposed to happen overnight, so I gotta go to work about an hour tomorrow.
Salt, really?
Brine on the car.
Yeah, right.
What about the Wildcat Arena? As you'll have to excuse my unprofessionalism. Those who have heard me before, that's to no surprise of you. Alex Myers alongside me is Mike Sheehan and Nick Elray Suttles. David Clary is helping us produce this show and wants to help us out honoring former Wildcats and Lady Wildcats. But here's the key again: Mike and Jeff Henderson have sponsored tonight's ball game, made it possible for us to do this. And they, in years past, have honored their great brother, who's no longer with us, a former Wildcat, Ron Henderson. He is no longer with us, but instead of just honoring him, Jeff and Mike Henderson decided they wanted to share the love and to use this as an opportunity to honor all former Wildcats and Lady Wildcats who are no longer with us. And so the idea is the folks, again, that are no longer with us, to honor them because they can't be here to watch these games tonight, but they certainly were a big part of the Lady Wildcat and just Oak Ridge sports history, regardless of whether they were male or female, cheerleader, coach, basketball, softball, track, football. It doesn't matter. We want to honor them. And if you hear a name, we want to pause a minute and salute them. If you have a former Wildcat who's passed, who you would like to honor, and you haven't heard their name mentioned, just go over to our YouTube channel on Prep Radio over on YouTube. We've got a live stream of this game happening right now. Go to the comments section. You can leave a comment. You know, so-and-so played from this year to that year. Here's the sport they play. Just a little note. We'll be happy to mention that. Mike, you've got the first half stats as we're a couple minutes into halftime now. Oak Ridge leads at 32-22. You've got the first half stats.
Thank you, Alex Myers. First for the Lady Beavers, Reese Roberts led them in scoring with 7 points. She had 3 two-pointers and a free throw. Riley Roberts had 6 points on 2 3-pointers. Lauren Martin had 6 on 2 points and then a 3-pointer and a free throw. And Abby Harris finished out the scoring. No, that's not correct. Abby Harris had 1, and then Kiki Clay had 2 for the total of 22 for the Lady Beavers. For the Lady Wildcats, leading the pack was Ayana Porter with 16. Alicia Mitchell had 2. Paige Lawling had 2. Jenna Phillips had 2. And Jenna Johnson had 8. And Lindsay Cleveland had 2. Lady Wildcats led at the half by 9, 18-9. They lead here at the end of the second quarter, 32-22 here at halftime from the Oak Ridge Arena.
Thank you, Mike Sheehan. And again, for those just joining the broadcast, Mike and Jeff Henderson, who have been longtime supporters of Prep Radio and everything we do and have helped us get things on the air, done a lot of stuff behind the scenes, don't like their names mentioned, but they had a tremendous idea. Typically, they honor their brother Ron, former Wildcat and military serviceman, a great man by all accounts, who's no longer with us. He passed away years ago, and they want to honor him tonight again. But this year, instead of just honoring their brother, they want to share the love and really honor every former Wildcat, Lady Wildcat, Wildcat, football, softball, track, it doesn't matter. If you have a former Wildcat that is no longer with us, that is past, male, female, coach, player, it doesn't matter. We want to honor them, and we're naming names throughout the night. But if you haven't heard a name of a former friend or family member that's no longer with us that had an impact for Oak Ridge sports, we want to honor them. And you can do that and get that person's name on our broadcast by going to our YouTube page, searching Prep Radio, click on our live broadcast, and go and just put a comment in. And once you do that, David Clary, who is joining us, who can read those names and make sure we can try to get every name into broadcast. It's not too late. We're just underway in the second half here from the Wildcat Arena, and we're going to be naming names throughout the night. Oak Ridge leads it, starting this half by 10. Make them up by 12 now, as Ulisha Mitchell, who had a really nice first half. Really wasn't a Lady Wildcat who didn't play well in the first half. It was a great team half. The Lady Wildcats are up by 12. Here comes a quick 3 on the other end from Karns. They chase the offensive rebound down but can't control it, and the Lady Wildcats will get the ball. Mike, game like this, we've seen that Karns has the ability to shoot and make the 3, which kind of makes you think they're always in it. But if Oak Ridge can extend this lead early, you could think maybe about putting this game away early. The problem with that, of course, is that Karns defensively, even when shots haven't been falling, although Oak Ridge had a nice offensive first half, it was better offense, not that Karns wasn't playing good defense. Both of these teams have played good defense.
Exactly. You know, I will say this, the Lady Wildcats have handled the ball much better tonight. They haven't had near the turnovers they've had in other games. You asked me if I've watched every game they played on YouTube, and so I haven't missed anything, but they play tough sometimes, but they do have turnover problems at times.
Here is an offensive rebound brought down by Alicia Mitchell. Ooh, nice little ball handling work there.
Really.
Creates some separation as she crosses the half-court stripe. Here it is. She brings it to Lindsay Cleveland, working against this zone. Nowhere to go with it. She's doubled. They get it into Lawing. Paige Lawing underneath. Great pass to Jenna Johnson. Even better finish. Jenna Johnson looks over to the bench with a little bitty grin. Say, hey, I'm back. 36-22. Here comes Karns the other way, quickly racing. There's a layup. It's no good. The Lady Beavers get the offensive rebound. They jack a shot up, no good. Out of there with it, Jenna Johnson. No surprise on that rebound. She kicks it up to Mitchell. Mitchell finishes and scores. Biggest lead of the game, 38-22, and Ulisha Mitchell has 4 points in the second half already. 6:12 to go here in the third quarter, as a quick shot again from Karns. Johnson out of there with the rebound. She gives it to Mitchell. Mitchell, nice little spin move. She's going to be doubled and shoved, and there's going to be a foul on Reese. Mike, I think Karns is starting to have a little bit of desperation. It feels like they're forcing shots, not just tough shots, but Mike, they're shooting very quickly. There's no shot clock, but it feels like they're rushing, like they feel like this game's about to get away from them.
I think you're right. And, they're a little bit winded. The Lady Wildcats are running up and down the floor much quicker than they are. And, they don't have much depth on this Karns team. As Jenna Johnson goes in for another layup, and it rolls off, and the Karns Beavers have it coming down the floor.
And they nearly turned the ball over, Mike, but Lauren Martin does get it, and then she's going to be called for a player control foul. Us old schoolers call that what, Mike? A charge.
Oh.
38-22, the Lady Wildcats get the ball back, 5:42 to go here in the third quarter. Crossing the half-court stripe is Mitchell. A little bit of it, this is a really extended zone. There's a lot of space in the middle. Porter enters the middle, gives it to Lawing, hammered, no foul, but it doesn't matter. She makes it anyways. Paige Lawing gives the Lady Wildcats their biggest lead of the night, and Paige Taylor says, I want more. Put on more steam. She puts the press on. Karns brace it, though, and they're into the front court. They try a wild pass, and it's off the mark, tipped out of bounds, and nearly stolen by Ayanna Porter, but she just couldn't quite control it. These Lady Wildcats are putting the pedal to the metal.
They are scrapping for every play they can get. They were doing a great job.
It seems like there's no let-up. It seems like the more they get up by, the harder they play. Here comes Reese driving right side over two Lady Wildcats. Tough shot nearly falls, but it doesn't. Jenna Johnson, the rebound. She wants to go coast to coast. She thought about it, didn't have numbers, and now gets it out to a guard. Long three from Porter, off the mark, no good. Lindsey Cleveland with the rebound. Cleveland into Lawings. Lawings pivots, stops, tries to find it. Porter, she does. Porter kicks it out to Johnson. Thought about a three, drives, kicks. Here's Mitchell driving left side, gets it to Lawings. Free throw line jumper. Good. Paige Lawing. Number 20 puts the Lady Wildcats up by 20. 42-22, 4:34 to go in the third quarter. Karns struggling now, trying to get something going offensively. Here comes Lauren Martin, passing left side. The girl who just checked in, that's Aubrey Ballard. She's going to turn the ball over. Couldn't control the pass. Here comes Mitchell. Mitchell absorbs contact, throws it off the glass. Good. Lauren Trent says she's seen enough. 44-22, a 22-point lead for the Lady Wildcats. Mike Sheehan, what has gotten into the Lady Wildcats?
I don't know. They've scored 12 points in less than 4 minutes. They have been on fire. Every shot they put up has been good. They're just playing great defense, getting on the rebounds, blocking out. What can you say? The Lady Wildcats are playing tough, and they're up 44-22.
We'd like to honor Justin Young, former basketball player, Jeff Shaw, who played football, Shannon Wimes, who played basketball, Fred Gwynn and Randy Kirk, who both played basketball, Frank Kirk and Gene Williams both played baseball, Chris Chambles, who played football, Kevin Oakes, who played basketball, Ray Karns, who played basketball in 1948, Chase Forrester, a guy who I went to school with, a graduate of 2012, who played football. Chase was a tremendous, tremendous young man. Jan Kennedy, who was just a super fan of Oak Ridge Athletics. Marcellus Jones, who played football, and Michelle Elliott, who played basketball. Lady Wildcats playing defense here, up by 22 points midway through the third quarter. 4:10 to go in the third quarter of play. Karns Beavers reeling there. Coach Lauren Trent wisely, I think, called a timeout, trying to gather her girls and say, hey, long game, let's regroup here a little bit. And it worked, Mike. They got a bucket out of that timeout, one they so desperately needed. Lady Wildcats, just their defense has been incredible so far here in the second half. Jenna Johnson, right side, off the glass. That's good. Jenna Johnson, boy, between her and Ayanna Porter, these two girls are on fire tonight.
They are.
And it's not just scoring. They're doing other things, rebounding, hustling, getting steals. These two girls, their effort, you can see the way they're playing. The team has followed, Mike. I think, if I don't think I'm wrong to say that their leadership, not verbally, but just how they play, the rest of the team is playing the same way.
Yeah, they have. They've really come out tenacious here in the second half, Alec, and they're really pulling away from the Karns Beavers now. As they're, things are just going the Lady Wildcats' way, and it's all a lot of good hustle, good team play, passing the ball around, good ball handling. Can't say enough about the Lady Wildcats right now. as the first free throw is up and good.
That is Reese Roberts, the junior guard for Karns. Lawing, Johnson, Cleveland, Porter, and Mitchell, the five on the court for Lady Wildcats, who now in their all-white uniforms with cardinal numerals go right to left.
Whoa, that had to hurt.
And there's a strong collision between the two Reese
this is
sisters.
not good.
There's strong collision. There was a pass, a long, probably 40-foot pass the Lady Wildcats tried to complete in just a really good hustle play from the Reese sisters, both of them trying to intercept the ball, and they ran into each other, didn't see each other, and they're down. Dave, if we could, let's take a 30-second timeout, get a couple of commercial breaks in. Just 30 seconds, so thankfully it looks like they're going to be okay.
Chancellor Jamie Brooks has been practicing law in Anderson County for over 30 years. He knows our community, our people, and our values. He's a conservative with the experience and temperament you want in a judge. He listens courteously, considers thoughtfully, and upholds the law. That is why Governor Bill Lee appointed him to the bench. The Republican primary is March 5th. Let's keep Jamie Brooks as our Republican chancellor in Anderson County.
Thank you to
the twins staying
Lauren
in, or
Trent.
they
I
coming
guess
out?
they have to come out for a moment, but
I
Lauren
think
Trent
so.
was out
They're
there,
both
and
pretty shook up, that's for sure.
the bond that she has with their players seems to be really, really strong, and she goes out there and checks on them, and I think it almost scared them more than anything. I'm sure it didn't feel good, but
No.
after a few seconds, it looked like each of them were kind of like, okay, I got all my teeth here, everything's okay. So they have to come out for a moment. Brian Leffler went on to check on him. We want to thank him for all his great work. And as the Oak Ridge trainer at home games, he not only checks on Oak Ridge players, but also on opposing teams as well. Here comes a three from Oak Ridge. Out of that break, it's no good, and Ayana Porter is going to get called for a foul as Kiki Clay grabbed the rebound, and she got aggressive trying to get a steal. 46-25 the score, 3:14 to go here in the third quarter. Both Reese sisters check right back in, and thankfully they're okay. But they will have to face this 2-1-2 press of Oak Ridge. Excuse me, I think it's just a man-to-man press as they knock the ball out of Oak Ridge. Oak Ridge knocks the ball out of bounds, excuse me, but it's off of the Lady Wildcats. Karns retains possession. 3:04 to go here in the third quarter. In front of their own bench, in front of Coach Trent, they inbound the ball. Lauren Martin, left side to Reese. That is Riley Reese. She's going to pass the corner. She wants it back. Where they're going to do it. Martin gets it inside to a post. Turnaround shot, no good, and Ayana Porter comes out of it with the rebound, and she's tied up. Nice play there from a couple of players. Porter getting the rebound, and also
Abby Harris there on the scrap for the rebound.
She saved a possession. Good observation, Mike, and Karns gets an extra possession off of that jump ball. Long three from Reese, right side, elbow, no good, and it was a little bit short, probably a little bit out of the range. Here comes a pass up court. Jenna Johnson, count it, and the foul. Jenna Johnson sprinting across the half-court line, received the pass, took one dribble, made the layup, and she was hacked. Each team now with 2 fouls here in the third quarter. Excuse me, Karns with 3 fouls. Oak Ridge with 2. Jenna Johnson got the bucket to go. Will she make it 3? She will not. Her shot was off the front rim, no good. Oak Ridge came out of there with it for a moment. I thought they dribbled it off of Reese Roberts' foot, but they say the Lady Wildcats last touch it. I'm not sure, but Oak Ridge is up by 23, so we'll let it slide this time, Mike. 48-25 the score, 2:31 to go here in the third. Karns with it late in the third. Here comes Roberts. Going right side, put on the spin cycle. Really nice finish from Riley Roberts, the junior guard. Now, Karns is going to put some press. Here comes Karns. Oak Ridge works across half court. Porter stops and pop free throw line jumper. No good. Lawing, battling around for it. Karns tipped it out of bounds. That was obvious.
Yeah,
that was obvious. And Oak Ridge is on the wrong side of that call. So that's a couple in a row
nice.
now. David Clary, you're not talking much in this broadcast yet, but somebody has to complain about the refs. So since you're not here to do it, Mike and I will take over responsibilities. 2:04 to go in the third. Oak Ridge up 48-27.
I'll have to tell everybody, Alec, I agree with that. They missed 2 in a row.
Oak Ridge in the lead by 21, trying to not let the foot off the gas here. Karns inbounding it. Jenna Johnson stolen. One-on-one break. She goes up high for the layup, and that's good. A little flex for Jenna Johnson. Puts the Lady Wildcats up 50-27. She's got 8 in this half alone. 16 in the game. Jenna Johnson, Ayanna Porter, some of these girls just starring, really flashing their offensive brilliance tonight. There is a nice offensive play, this time from Karns. Reese Roberts, the junior guard, gets a little floater to fall. Quickly they back the other way. Freshman Elisha Mitchell, spin cycle, shot no good. Now the rebound from Cleveland into Lawings, now into Cleveland. Now the shot, Jenna Johnson, off back rim, no good from 3, and wow. This one's going to go against Oak Ridge. I didn't see a lot there, but here's a foul call. So that will be the 4th foul of the quarter for Karns.
They shoved Jenna.
2 free throws. That's the 4th, though, on the floor. So Porter inbounds it underneath the Lady Beavers goal. She gets it into Johnson. It's stolen, I thought. Now Johnson corrals the rebound. Lindsey Cleveland in, off the screen from Johnson. Here comes Porter. She's going to give and go, give it right back to Johnson, who couldn't secure the ball. And now Karns comes out of there with it. The Beavers crossing half court. Here's Martin. Might have got away with the travel. They don't call it, so here comes Roberts. Reese Roberts up and good. Off the glass as she charged towards the rim. Here comes Oak Ridge the other way. Mitchell into Lawing, and she's fouled. And Paige Lawing, who had 4 free throw attempts and went 2 for 4 in the first quarter, will now go back to the line for 2 with 56 seconds to go in the third quarter. Oak Ridge leading by 19, 50-31. The Lady Wildcat lead here late in the third quarter. That was the 5th foul. So any further fouls on defense for Karns will result, whether it's shooting or not, in 2 free throws for the Lady Wildcats. Lawing's first shot is up and good. I want to remind you that we're honoring former Wildcats and Lady Wildcats who have passed away, thanks to a generous contribution of an idea and also monetarily from Mike and Jeff Henderson, who have allowed us to make this broadcast happen tonight. So they wanted to honor their brother Ron, also their uncle Buddy Pope, who recently passed away, a longtime Oak Ridge great as a player and a coach. And they want to honor those who meant something special to you as well. So if you have a former Wildcat or Lady Wildcat who's passed away who you would like to honor, we ask you just to go to our YouTube page, go to our comment section of the video that is streaming live now on this broadcast, and just comment their name, their sport. You can put the year they played if you'd like, and we'll be glad to try to get them worked into this broadcast. For Karns, they go to the free throw line. That's freshman Kiki Clay. She clangs the first one off the back iron, does the same with this one. Jenna Johnson, to no surprise, comes out of there with the rebound. Lady Wildcats lead by 21. Here comes Porter charging forward. Ball was tipped away, nearly stolen, but Elisha Mitchell comes away with it. Nice ball handling moves, skills on display from Mitchell. Ball works around the arc, this time to Cleveland. Long pass across a couple defenders. That's just not going to go through against an athletic team, but she makes up for it as Cleveland threw that away, but then raced down the other way and got a steal. Here comes Elisha Mitchell, 19 seconds to go. I think the Lady Wildcats are trying to hold for the last shot, but Karns fouled. Some of these passes have been a little scary, Mike. You can't make these long, loopy passes against an athletic, lengthy team.
Absolutely not. And that's the 3rd foul on Riley Roberts for the Karns Lady Beavers now.
And they are more than 5 fouls in for the quarter. That's their 6th. So after 5, there's no really point in counting because everything's the double bonus. So Porter was fouled. Oak Ridge trying to hold on for the last shot, but Karns will get the ball back, but Porter gets 2 free throws. She hits the first.
First time she scored here in this half.
After a terrific output offensively in the first half, she hits the second free throw there. 2 for 2 from the line for Porter there. 54-31, Lady Wildcats in the lead. 14 seconds to go in the third quarter as Karns races across half court. Martin over Lawing, shot no good. Porter with the rebound with 7 seconds. She's trying to break some pressure. Can she find a teammate? She cannot. She's going to dive for the ball, rolls it forward. Karns steals it. Half court attempt by Roberts, off the backboard, no good. Great hustle there from Roberts. Couldn't get the shot to fall, and the Lady Wildcats lead at 54-31. We're going to take a 60-second timeout. When we come back, we'll have the 4th and final period here from the Wildcat Arena.
I'm Mike Kelly with Betsy Coleman Realty. I'm a proud graduate of Oak Ridge High School, class of 1982, and a member of the 1980 state championship football team. As a lifelong resident of Oak Ridge, I would love to put my knowledge of the area to work for you should you have any real estate needs. You can contact me at 865-919-5559 or at BetsyColemanRealty.com. Thank you, and roll Wildcats roll.
Not while the mics are on.
Chancellor Jamie Brooks has been practicing law in Anderson County for over 30 years. He knows our community, our people, and our values. He's a conservative with the experience and temperament you want in a judge. He listens courteously, considers thoughtfully, and upholds the law. That is why Governor Bill Lee appointed him to the bench. The Republican primary is March 5th. Let's keep Jamie Brooks as our Republican chancellor in Anderson County.
We will go to David Clary momentarily, who's got another addition to a former Wildcat to honor, or Lady Wildcat, I'm not sure who, but he's got a name for us. As Oak Ridge turns the ball over to start the fourth quarter, there was a scramble for the ball after the turnover, and Karns, they're going to say Oak Ridge actually touched it last, so Karns will get possession. 7:43 to go in the fourth quarter. Oak Ridge leading 54-31. Thank you to Mike and Jeff Henderson, who are honoring their brother Ron in this by sponsoring this game, and all their former Wildcats who have fallen. Jenna Johnson got the steal. I think she got caught in between. She's kind of laughing between a pass and a shot and just kind of threw the ball up, but she got her own rebound. Ball works back around to Ayanna Porter, and you called her name in a moment ago. We'll call her again. Ayanna Porter hits the what, Mike? She hit what kind of shot?
Another three.
57-31. That is, I believe, her fourth three-point shot of the night. Rebound off the Karns miss will go to Oak Ridge. It was knocked out of bounds. They're going to say Karns hit it last. So Johnson will pass it into Porter. Karns still pressing, 2-2-1 press. They got a little success here. Porter is struggling. She's got to pass it. There she goes. She finds Cleveland up top. Cleveland tried to pass it back to Porter, and it was a reckless pass. Karns comes out of there with it. Reese stomps and pops long two. That's off the mark, no good. Here comes Porter. Porter wants to push the pace. She's going to try to find Cleveland up top. She does, racing down the court, rather, and Cleveland was pushed. So it's a new quarter, so that's a non-shooting foul, just their first of the quarter. So Oak Ridge will take it underneath the goal, out of bounds. They've had some success getting the ball inside off these inbounds, baseline inbounds play. Let's see what the Lady Wildcats choose to do here. Lawings sets a screen for Mitchell. She's not open. Lawings was momentarily. They get it into the free throw line to Johnson. Johnson, right corner to Cleveland, drains a three. 60-31, a 29-point widening gap here for the Lady Wildcats in the fourth quarter, 6:35 to go. Karns back the other way. There's a foul, bucket, and a foul. That time, Abby Harris, the senior center. You know, one thing I'll say is I have never heard anyone speak a bad word about Lauren Trent. She was here a long, long time, well respected as a coaching mind, but more importantly, Mike, as a human being. And I will say this, as this gap has widened, the free throw was missed, three-point play not converted. Mike, I've just been really impressed with Karns. Even though Oak Ridge is outplaying them right now, Paige Lawing gets a double, or a two-point shot, excuse me. But this Karns team has not stopped playing hard. They are still fighting even though the gap is widening.
They certainly are. The Oak Ridge Lady Wildcats have just really played so much better than the Karns Beavers as the Wildcats get yet another steal.
Here comes Lawings again. Can she score four in a row? She can't, but Jenna Johnson's there to follow up her miss. And Jenna Johnson, another easy bucket. Jenna Johnson, a layup machine. She's got 10 points in this half alone. She had 8 in the third quarter and has 18 on the night. Foul called, Reese driving. She threw up a wild shot. It was no good. Ulisha Mitchell is going to be called for the foul. So Karns will go to the free throw line. It's Reese Roberts. And Mike, this is just really a fun game to watch for Oak Ridge. If you're a Lady Wildcat fan, this has got to make you proud. Coach Taylor's team always plays hard, but tonight they're playing hard offensively. They have looked really, really smooth, really good. Things have not been forced. Dave, we're going to kick it over to David Clary momentarily after this dead ball. David?
Yeah, one thing I wanted to say, you were mentioning the games that Ayanna Porter's having. She's had 2 30-point games plus in the last 2 ball games, 2 out of the last 3 ball games. Jenna Johnson's been scoring big numbers as well. Lady Wildcats are playing very, very comfortably. And one thing, I know maybe you didn't see this last year, but we played this Karns team to like 3-point games, 5-point games, except in the championship ball game, as there's a shot that's up missed. But and this is a team we played in the district championship game, and we're up by 30 right now with 5.5 minutes to play.
Well, and that's one thing, David, I wanted to ask you as another basket from Karns by Reese Roberts goes in. I wanted to ask, I kind of assumed that Karns graduated several players. I didn't really get a chance to see them much last year, the girls' team, that is.
They graduated nobody.
Wow. That's incredible that Oak Ridge is doing this right now. And, again, you can see the talent Karns has. They don't have the depth that Oak Ridge has, but they've definitely, in the starting five, they've got a nice lineup there. Freshmen starting, but the Roberts sisters, Martin, they've got some talented offensive pieces. Miss here, Jenna Johnson coming out with it. She's just going coast to coast. Dishes it off to Mitchell last second. Mitchell drives, baseline, no good. And Karns comes out of there with it. 4:45 to go in the fourth quarter. Oak Ridge up 64-36. Roberts, spin move, right side off the glass, good. And Coach Lauren Trent wants a timeout. We'll keep it right here. David, I want to send it over to you. Again, if you want to honor a former Lady Wildcat or Wildcat, go to our YouTube section, drop a comment. Dave, someone has done just that.
Yes, sir. And Mike Sheehan will remember this guy, John Clark, super fan. He used to go through the crowd throwing bubble gum, pelting people with bubble gum back in the day. Always did that 2 bits, 4 bits, 6 bits, $1, all for the Wildcats, stand up and holler. That was his favorite cheer. And get Mike's comments about John Clark.
You know what, David? I think, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm taking the headphones off and looking at Mike, say that name one more time, David.
John Clark.
John Clark, thank you very much. That's somebody nominated his name, and David wanted to get your thoughts. 2 bits, 4 bits, 6 bits, $1, all for the Wildcats, stand up and holler. Dave said he used to pelt people with bubble gum. I think as a child, I remember seeing him at Blankenship.
Oh yeah, he was there selling hats and gloves and I don't know what all.
Wildcat
there was a great story about him and Willard Marler that I'll never forget. Those guys were classic.
Don't tell that one, Mike.
Great fan. John Clark was a great fan.
Super fan, as he was described by the YouTube comment, I think. Porter, 2 points, good. How many times have we said that tonight? Most of the time it seems like it's been a 3-pointer, but she'll take 2 points there. Oak Ridge is up 66-38, 4:19 to play in the fourth. Roberts, here comes Riley Roberts. That time she gets the bucket to go. The Roberts sisters are talented. They are very confident scorers of the basketball. Mitchell, nice crossover move, but she lost control of it. She was being guarded by Riley Roberts. The Roberts girls, I'm assuming they're sisters. They look like they're twins,
They're
so I'm
twins.
assuming they are. They are very good basketball players, aren't they?
Yes, they are. They certainly are. I wouldn't mind having them on the Oak Ridge team if they weren't at Karns.
Here comes Karns. Right side three, that's Roberts, no good. Another rebound, Jenna Johnson. She's had a lot of really high volume rebound games. Today will be another tally on that list. Here comes Porter, left side, finds Pippins, shot up, no good. Another rebound, guess who? Jenna Johnson. She missed the layup, upset with herself on that one. Coach Paige Taylor says, you've got to get back on defense, young lady. She does that, but not before Oak Ridge fouls Reese Roberts. And you know, one of the things, it was no good. The shot was no good. And they're going to say the foul was before the shot. So Karns will take in the ball. Pippins comes out. Lawing goes back in. Mike, one of the things I think it's important to note if you're just listening to us or if you haven't seen the roster, one of the things that was kind of expected is if Oak Ridge could hold a lead going into the third quarter, fourth quarter, they would have an opportunity to extend it. It's just what they've done because you look at the sheer numbers. They only got 9 people on the roster as Karns. It's not a very big roster, is it?
No, it's not. They don't have near the depth the Lady Wildcats have.
And right now, it's just not a lot Coach Lauren Trent can do because Oak Ridge is just beating them down the court each and every time and getting layups, quite honestly. 68-40, 28-point lead for Lady Wildcats. They're going to try to shoot a 3 as Karns, and that's good. In the face of Mitchell, Reese Roberts nails a 3. 25-point ball game. Now Lady Wildcats up and in control. Pass from Porter goes up front court to Lawing. Lawing to Cleveland, Porter, Johnson, now left side Mitchell. She wants to take a 3, that's off the mark. Paige Lawing, Lindsey Cleveland fighting for it. and it's going to be last touched by the Lady Wildcats. Karns will get possession back with 2:50 to go in this ball game. We want to mention a couple more former Wildcats and Lady Wildcats. Margaret Gottschall, with girls track and volleyball coach. Monet Monroe, who ran track. Robert Slim Goodman, basketball. Carol Smith, basketball. Ronnie Coker, class of 1986. Mark Fuller, class of 1985. Lauren Martin scores for Karns. We'll continue down the list. Mark Fuller, class of 1985. Michael Lantrip, football. Karen Rigdon, basketball. Bobby Hazelette, football and basketball. Mark Copeland, who played football. Lindsay Cleveland hits launches a three, no good. Jenna Johnson, another rebound, and she puts it right back up. She scores again, and it's 70-45. Oak Ridge with the lead with 2:19 to go. Let's finish this list out. We've gotten everybody so far, but we want to keep adding to that list. Go to our YouTube channel, comment if you'd like to add somebody. Mark Copeland played football. Cordell Bohannon played basketball. Paolo O'Neill played basketball. Anthony Shannon played basketball. Steve White for baseball. Sammy Morrison, football from 1963 to 1966. Thomas Coran, football. And Paul Hurray, football, 1958 national champion. And apologies to anyone who we've mispronounced their names. A lot of these I'm unfamiliar with, but certainly I appreciate, and we appreciate, everyone in Wildcat fandom appreciates Nick Suttles nodding his head. We appreciate anyone who's ever put a second of blood, sweat, tears, anything into Wildcat athletics. We appreciate you, and we honor you tonight thanks to the donation, both in thought, with the idea that Mike and Jeff Henderson had to do this sort of night, and also with their monetary donation that made this broadcast possible. So thank you to Mike and Jeff Henderson once again for their sponsorship of tonight's ball game, and honor of all former Lady Wildcats and Wildcats that have passed, as well as their brother Ron Henderson and their late uncle Buddy Pope. Lady Wildcats with it. Mitchell thought about a three, drives in, left side layup, no good. She gets her own rebound. She fights for it, saves the ball momentarily, but Karns recovers it. Just a tremendous individual effort on that possession by Ulisha Mitchell, but it did not result in a bucket. Karns back the other way. Here's a drive and a foul from Oak Ridge. Are they going to call it a shooting foul or not? If it's on the floor, they'll have to take it in from out of bounds. They're going to say it's a shooting foul. I think it's probably the right call, although it was close. So for Karns, it will be Reese Roberts who will shoot 2 free throws. Nick Suttles, I want you to come over here real quick. Nick has been a fighter going through some things. We want to know you that we're thinking of you. We're praying for you, my friend, and you are a loyal member of the Prep Radio crew. Second free throw missed. Jenna Johnson gets the rebound. We love you, buddy. And I want to ask you what your thoughts on this game is. Jenna Johnson, strong take. She looked like she was about to dunk, which is Nick Suttles' favorite play in the sport. Jenna Johnson points up to the scoreboard, and what a game she has had. Oak Ridge up 74-46. Nick, your thoughts on this Lady Wildcat performance? You're going to be hard-pressed to find a Lady Wildcat performance this season where they have played as well offensively and defensively start to finish. Nick?
Well, you know, as long as I have been watching these young ladies playing, they have came out to play tonight. They shot very well. They took it to the goal. They done what they're supposed to do, and they're going to win it.
Yeah, no doubt about that one. Sometimes late in the ball game, it's in question. Mike, this has not really been in question since just after halftime, has it?
Has not. You know, we're led by 9 after the first quarter, and they've only expanded the lead every quarter.
10-point game at halftime, but pretty soon after that, the Lady Wildcats just blew this thing open.
Yeah, they absolutely have.
Karns may have gotten away with the shove off there, but they missed the shot and it went out of bounds, so no harm, literally no foul that time offensively. And so the Lady Wildcats will get the ball back. Porter fouled, no call. She gets the ball across half court. 1-on-3, and she's trying to find a teammate. She does in Lindsay Cleveland, who finds Jenna Johnson at the top of the key. Jenna drives in, misses, gets her own rebound. Turnaround, layup, good. Jenna Johnson add 2 more to her total, and the Lady Wildcats have their biggest lead of the night, 30 points, 76-46. This one is a blowout. Martin driving in. It's deflected out of bounds off the Lady Wildcats. 31 seconds away from this one being all but over. Because really, it kind of is over, but we'll keep on talking because as anyone who knows any of us in the booth, we love to talk. David Clary's shaking his head, of course. That three from Roberts is no good. Jenna Johnson, another rebound. She goes coast to coast driving. It's tipped away, last touched by Karns.
Yeah.
Lady Wildcats with the ball with 19 seconds to go. I wonder, it's interesting, Paige Taylor has not substituted hardly at all. And even in this big blowout win, not really been many substitutions. So wonder if she's trying to send a message or wonder what's going on there. Porter launched a three late. That's no good when with 12 seconds to go, Karns is going to bring it across half court. Will they shoot it? Yeah, they will. Martin, she's going to be blocked though. And guess what? That's another rebound for Jenna Johnson. They try to throw it up to Porter, who was racing out to try to get a layup, it looked like, and the ball was swatted out of bounds by a Karns defender. So Oak Ridge will get it into Porter. They're not going to foul her. She's going to not shoot the ball. Classy move there from Porter. And that's your ball game, 76-46. Oak Ridge, the Lady Wildcats victorious on a Saturday. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll have a stats and an interview with Lady Wildcat coach Paige Taylor.
They say that being a coach's wife is hard, but Laura Lynn Green, wife of Oak Ridge head coach Aaron Green, and a local State Farm insurance agent, makes buying insurance easy for you. Auto, homeowners, renters, business, life, health, and much more. Laura Lynn Green's office is located at 136 Marquette Road in Oak Ridge. Give her a call today at 483-5666 or say hello to her courtside at any Oak Ridge High School basketball game. She might be a coach's wife, but she was a Wildcat fan first. For State Farm Insurance, call Laura Lynn Green in Oak Ridge.
ORUD Natural Gas is proud to offer our customers a product that saves money, provides consistent service, and is a clean energy source. You can save over $1,000 on your annual utility bills when you make the switch to natural gas for heating, cooking, and clothes drying. ORUD is your one-stop shop. We sell and install gas appliances for our customers and make it easy to add your bill with our 0% interest financing. Learn more about how much you can save at ORUD.org.
Looking for a new place to call home? Main Street Lofts in Oak Ridge, Tennessee has you covered. Offering newly built 1, 2, and 3-bedroom apartments, Main Street Lofts is a top-tier place to call home. Within walking distance of shops, restaurants, and entertainment, our community is convenience at its finest. Enjoy the 24-hour state-of-the-art fitness center, take a dip in our sparkling saltwater swimming pool, or make that perfect steak at our grilling station, and then relax by our fire pit with friends and neighbors. Your furry four-legged friends will surely love exercising in our pet park and getting pampered in our pet spa. Give us a call today to schedule a tour of your new home or visit our website at themainstreetlofts.com to check out our availability and apply for your new home. It's time to live the lifestyle you deserve.
Washboard Wash and Fold Laundry Service in Oak Ridge is not your typical laundromat. Drop off your dirty laundry today and see for yourself. You'll have the freshest, cleanest hung and folded laundry around. You need delivery? We can do that for you. Washboard Wash and Fold is also a trusted partner for all your commercial laundry needs. Here at Washboard Wash and Fold Laundry, we are proud of being voted the best in Anderson County. Located at 113 Robertsville Road, just a stone throw from Oak Ridge High School. Hey, don't wait until you're down to your last clean item. Drop them off today.
For personal, professional, and affordable accounting services, call Tracy Larrabee, CPA. Tracy's a 1978 graduate of Oak Ridge High School and can help with business, individual, estate, interest, tax accounting services, payroll processes for businesses, small business bookkeeping, tax planning, plus management advocacy services. Call Tracy Larrabee, CPA, 425-7736, or stop by 683 Emory Valley Road, Suite B. Tracy Larrabee, CPA.
Come in, discover the difference of an independent insurance agency. Fox Insurance Group, Oak Ridge.
Welcome back to the Wildcat Arena. Alex Myers joined now by Coach Paige Taylor. Paige, big win today, 76-46, the final score. Your thoughts on how you guys came out? Because I thought these two teams at the beginning was a pretty even match, but you guys got a big lead, decent lead in the first quarter. Kept about a 10-point lead in the second quarter, but then after half, you guys came out with your heads on fire. You guys came out and just blew it open.
Yeah, I mean, we started the game well, exactly how we wanted to start. Kind of jumped on them a little bit, but that's a good basketball team. They can score. They shoot the three well at times. So, we knew they were going to come back, and I think it was cut. I mean, maybe 6 or so at one point in time, but they weren't going away. And that was the thing at halftime is like, yeah, we're up 10, but this is a team that you got to put away really in the first 2 minutes of the third quarter, and we got to put together 16 minutes better than the 16 minutes that we just played. And I think our girls came out. We jumped early on. We talked a lot about it at halftime. In the first quarter, we got a lot of defensive rebounds, and we got transition buckets out of that. We did not get the defensive rebounds in the second quarter, and we didn't get those transition buckets. And I felt like the whole second half, we controlled the defensive boards, and we got transition buckets.
Jenna Johnson was a beast on the glass. I know she's had several games like this, but again, it's never not impressive to see really one person just control the boards. And the benefit of her grabbing a defensive rebound, I think, is what you saw is she can immediately, with her vision, she starts pushing the pace, and your quick guards are already at half court by the time she turns around. Talk about how much of a game changer that is.
I mean, it's huge because you get somebody who gets a rebound, and her instinct is to go, and I'll be honest with you, the first half of the season, we weren't getting guards out in transition really well, and I think the more we do it, the more comfortable they get, they do go, but it's a huge benefit to have somebody like her that has, one, the confidence to do it and the ability to do it, to grab a board and go.
You guys are the only, even before this game, we're the only region team. Karns was 2-1, that was undefeated. You're 3-0, now you're 4-0. Still very early in the season, but how nice is that? You don't want to take the foot off your gas, but as a coach, does it give you a little bit of breathing room saying, hey, we've started the way we wanted and we're perfect for what we can control in the region?
I wouldn't call that breathing room. I like where we're at, and we're talking constantly, what the district regular season means and for our seeding in the district tournament, and it's really just one game at a time. And we knew coming in this game, and we wanted to add another win. I mean, it's what I like is the fact that we're moving in the right direction as a team. The way we played today is how we're capable of playing. And we got to bring that every night. We got to bring the consistency, and I hope that's where we at. I hope this young team sees what we did, and that's fun. How we got to play right there, it's fun, and I hope they enjoyed it and they crave it, and we just continue getting better and better.
Last question for you. Give us a preview of this week's games. I know I was telling Mike, it doesn't matter if it's July. If somebody says you've got to go to Campbell County, it seems like it's going to be 30 and drizzling, snow or sleet or whatever. Of course, this week, Campbell County, you're kind of thinking maybe that's in the air with the forecast, but talk about the games this week that we can look ahead for.
I mean, we're at Campbell County on Tuesday. That's a tough place to play. That's an environment that it's a tough place, and that's another team that can shoot the ball really well. They'll be able to score. It's going to be gritty. They're going to play tough. It's going to be a physical game. We got to be ready for that. And then we're at Central on Friday. And Central, they're a good, solid basketball team. They're smart. They again they can shoot it well. So it's one game at a time though. We'll take tomorrow off since we had to play today, and we'll have a day to prep for Campbell County and get ready for them.
Coach Paige Taylor, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Coach of Lady Wildcats, victorious 30-point win tonight, 76-46. We welcome immediately Mike Sheehan, the wild man Mike Sheehan. I hadn't said that all night, so I might as well say it now. Back into the booth. Mike, you've got the final stats from the girls' game.
Yeah, first for the Lady Wildcats. Leading scorer for tonight, no surprise, Jenna Johnson. She had just a monster night. She had so many rebounds that I'm not able to calculate them. And then the next leading scorer, no surprise there either, Ayanna Porter. She's been on a tear. I mean, she's been averaging over 21 points for the last 4 or 5 games for the Lady Wildcats. Paige Lawling had 12. Alicia Mitchell had 11. Jenna Pippins had 4. And Lindsay Cleveland had 5 to round out the Lady Wildcats as they won tonight's game 76-46. And for the Karns Beavers, Abby Harris had 3. Lauren Martin had 8. Riley Roberts had 8. Reese Roberts led all the scoring for the Lady Beavers. She had 23, and Kiki Clay had 2 for the Lady Beavers. The final score of the night's game, 76-46. Outstanding performance by the Lady Wildcats all the way around, Alec.
I agree. We're going to send it over to David Clary joining us now. David, I want you to catch us up with any comments we may have missed, get your thoughts on that game, and then also I want you to introduce the idea of what Jeff and Mike Henderson, for those just joining us, have done, their gracious and unselfishness, the idea of what they've got going on this game. David?
Yeah, I think one of the things that is great about Oak Ridge sports is it is a community, and Jeff and Mike both played sports. Mike was a good receiver for the Oak Ridge football team. Jeff was a good baseball player, and they had relatives, obviously Buddy Pope, Jackie Pope, their uncles, and their brother, obviously. But they're honoring former Wildcats who are no longer with us. They might have passed away as long as 30 or 40 years ago, but they were outstanding players, outstanding citizens, and outstanding representatives of Oak Ridge High School in the athletic department. And there's over 125 names that were submitted of former players that have since gone on. And Mike and Jeff, just a great idea and a great way to honor our Wildcats of the past. You've got some more information about the boys' game.
Absolutely. Two great men and former Wildcats in their own rights. Jeff and Mike Henderson, thank you guys. Oak Ridge comes into this ball game 15-5 on the year, 3-0, perfect in district play. Karns 2-1 in region play, 8-10 overall. Welcome back to the Wildcat Arena. And tonight's District 3 game between the Wildcats and the Beavers. It's the 129th meeting between these two teams, with the Wildcats leading the series 100-28, dating back to 1946. Could have been Mike Sheehan's sophomore year. Karns ended Oak Ridge's season a year ago. It was a great battle with their 78-72 overtime win at Karns in the Region 2 tournament. Oak Ridge had won both regular season games 54-49 here at the arena and 67-64 at Karns. The Karns win ended a 26-game winning streak by the Wildcats dating back to 2013. This season, Karns is 2-1 in district play with wins over Campbell County and Powell. Their district loss was to Central. Oak Ridge is the only undefeated boys team, just like the girls, in District 3 team with wins over Central, Powell's, and Halls. Karns' most impressive win has to be their district win over Powell this Tuesday, 66-55. Karns is coached by Lee Henson, the Dean of Coaches in District 3 with over 20 years at the helm of the Beavers. Next week, Oak Ridge will travel to Campbell County, weather permitting, and Central for 2 more district games on the road. We'll broadcast them on FM 92.7 along with our live stream on YouTube. Tonight's games, we mentioned Mike and Jeff Henderson. We also want to mention the Fox Insurance Group, Jamie Brooks for Anderson County Chancellor, the Oak Ridge Utility District, Washboard, Wash and Fold, the Knoxville Orthopedic Clinic, 10 Bank of Oak Ridge, Main Street Lofts, Laura Lynn Green with State Farm, and Mike Kelly with Betsy Coleman Realty. We're online at pepradio.com, Oak Ridge Schools Television Channel 1082, and streaming both games live on our YouTube Prep Radio channel. It's time for, well, we're not going to send it to break. We're going to keep it right here. We also want to say that David would like to honor 3 former Wildcats who at one time served on the broadcast crew and played sports for Oak Ridge. They include Mike Ray, who played football, Mark Campbell, also a Wildcat football player, and Jim Vines, who played baseball. Thank you, Mike and Jeff Henderson, for this fabulous idea to honor former Wildcats who are no longer with us, and for their financial support for our broadcasts, not just tonight, but over the years for football and basketball and just their tremendous help. Wildcats getting ready to announce their starting 5 lineups as Karns have announced theirs. They're out there with Bubba Faulkner, Blake Dawson, Warda Apiat, Chris Bozeman, and Walker Lockhart. For Oak Ridge, their starting lineup. Forward, number 2, a junior, Shamar Green. Next up for the Wildcats at wing, number 5, Garrett Giles. Giles, of course, for Oak Ridge. Next up, junior, number 11, guard, Ray Watson. Next up, a junior center, Cooper Williams, number 35, and then the fifth and final starter at guard, a senior, number 20, Caden Brightheart. So Oak Ridge, their starting lineup, it's a big one. It goes 6'6", 6'6", 5'11", 6 foot, and 6'6". So Oak Ridge has got 3 guys listed at 6'6", another 6-footer and a 5'11" guard. That's a lot to handle for the high school team, isn't it, Mike?
Really a presence inside that they haven't had in years, and this is a very talented team. I really enjoy watching these guys.
Here comes the jump, and Karns.
That was a strange
It would have been a false start if this was football. Karns jumped a little bit early, so they say, let's settle down here. Tip the ball up, and Oak Ridge gets it. Shamar tips it to Ray Ray. Garrett Giles with it, now to Cooper Williams. Left side to Brightheart, outside the wing. Looking inside, can't get it. They're going to get it to Giles for a 3, top of the key, and that's good. It's 3-0 early for the Wildcats. Rolling here at the arena. 7:40 to go here in the opening quarter. First offensive possession for the Beavers for Karns. Left side, drive, nothing there. They're going to kick it out to a guard, driving against Brightheart. That's rarely a good idea. It wasn't there. They do find a player inside the paint. That's Andy Dong. Walker Lockhart, who gets the bucket to go. Raekwon Watson, long 3, put it on the board. 6-2 the Wildcats, 2 threes early. Garrett Giles and Raekwon Watson. Apiat kicks to Faulkner. Faulkner, deep 3, and that's good. 6-5 the score. Back and forth we go here from Oak Ridge High School. 7 minutes to go. In 1 minute into this ball game, we've had 3 threes hit and a 2. Ray Ray, another 3. No good. Brightheart, rebound, stops, pops in the lane, in and out, no good. Shamar with the rebound. It's tipped around after him, hit off of Brightheart's leg. Going to be Karns' ball. Nice sportsmanship from Chris Bozeman, picking up Caden Brightheart off the floor after he had dove for that. Karns inbounds it. Man-to-man defense, as we're used to seeing from Aaron Green's Wildcats. Oak Ridge in their all-white, trimmed in cardinal. The OR logo that's in the middle court is also on the pant legs of the Wildcats. It's a really cool-looking uniform. Yeah. I like it a lot, Mike.
I do, too. Nice-looking uniform.
Karns in almost looks like a Kentucky-ish uniform from their basketball teams from a few years ago with the blue and white checkerboards down the side of their tops and bottoms. White numerals trimmed in that Karns golden yellow. Bozeman working against Brightheart, trying to get something into the lane. He doesn't, but he kicks out to a teammate. Open 3, no good. Shamar Green with a strong rebound for Oak Ridge. Gives it off to Ray Ray, crosses half court, eyes looking down court. Ray Ray coming off a screen from Shamar. 3, good. You're gonna have to guard him, Beavers. It's 9-5. Just 2 minutes into this ball game. Oak Ridge with the lead. A lot of offense so far, Mike.
Absolutely. Raekwon Watson's got 2 threes right off the bat. 9-5 with 5:43 left here in the first quarter.
Bozeman with the ball, a transfer from senior. Deep 3, nestles it in. He appears to be a ball player, Mike Sheehan. That's 3. There's been 5 threes hit. Can it be a 6th as Ray Ray pulls up? No good. And Karns is going to get called for a foul. I thought they're going to call Cooper Williams with a foul, Karns will get the ball back. So there have been 5 threes made in this game. Oak Ridge has not scored a 2-point basket. They lead it 9-8. 5:22 to go here in the first quarter. This has been an exciting night of basketball. Started off with Robertsville. Robertsville won the girls' game. They won the boys' game as well. Mike Sheehan and I, both Robertsvillians, former Rams ourselves. David Clary, your Eagles took a loss today. We love them all. They're all Wildcats in the future, but for tonight, we're enemies. And we won, Dave. The girls, of course, won by 30 just a few minutes ago. That game wrapped up, and now the boys are up 9-8 with 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Shamar Green, left side, baseline, tried to spin, and it's good defense interior. On the interior, they get it out to Brightheart, gives it to Green. Green trying to power his way in. He's fouled. They're going to call a charge. Wow.
Yeah, I think that was a good call out. He kind of threw that elbow. He led with that elbow, and they're going to call a foul every time that happens.
Well, there was an elbow, but it was after, to me, I thought he kind of got tripped. And I'm not going to give much of an argument one way or the other. I think both teams had a fair shout if they wanted to say that's the wrong call or that's the right call. So you got to call it one way, and they did, and it goes Karns' way. Shamar Green and Cooper Williams both with a foul early on. Karns has not been called for a foul. 2 fouls to none in favor of Karns. Karns back the other way. Warda Apiat throws a pass, an errant one. Here comes Giles, slams it home over Blake Dawson. Some confusion in the backcourt, and Karns comes out of there with it. Chris Bozeman, 6'2" senior, working against Brighthart. 8-second count, 9-second. He crosses the midcourt stripe finally. Passes to a teammate. His teammate nails a 3. That's Bubba Faulkner, 6'1" senior. Karns not a small team. Good height, but not the interior height that the Wildcats have. Here's Ray. 3, in and out, no good. Schmar tried to get the rebound. He couldn't. Here comes Faulkner. Ahead to Bozeman. Bozeman walked clearly, no call, and he gets an easy fast break layup. He was guarding Ray, so Ray sprints the other end, and he tries to make a fast break layup and is fouled on the way up. Shot was no good. Aaron Green is not happy. Oak Ridge, as much as they want to run, they do not want to give up runouts either. And Karns has taken a lead, 13-11. Boy, there's been some shooting in this gym tonight. Ray to the line for 2. Watson, Brighthart, Green, Williams, and Giles, the 5 in the ball game for Oak Ridge. Giles recently scored his 1,000th career point. He's a junior. Of course, most of those came at his previous stop, but he's been an integral part of this Wildcat team this season, no doubt. I want to give a shout out to former Wildcat Barry Timmons, who is someone has nominated for him to be honored tonight. So Barry Timmons, who played football for the Wildcats. And Mike, if you think of anybody that you haven't heard, I know we've had a lot of names, but feel free to chime in. You or Nick as well. You guys have both been around Oak Ridge football about as much as anybody. So 13-13 the score after Watson makes both free throws. 3:37 to play in the first quarter. Bozeman, nice fake, and he walked. He thought he got fouled. I think he did, but he walked first. So I think that was the right call by the officiating crew. 3:35 to go in the opening quarter. Cooper Williams to inbound to Caden Brighthart as the Wildcats take over around the midcourt stripe. 13-13 the score. Brighthart directing traffic like a flight attendant. Passes it over to Price Davis, who just checked into the game. Davis inside to Williams. Layup no good, but he was fouled by Walker Lockhart, the 6'3" senior. And Lockhart looks more like a guard, but kind of in a post's body, and he's trying to guard big Cooper Williams down there, and Cooper just too much for him to handle on that play. Oak Ridge, 3 guys in their starting lineup at 6'6". It's just a rarity in high school basketball, isn't it, Mike? Absolutely it is. To have that many tall players on one team is a real rarity, especially for Oak Ridge High School. Oak Ridge historically, in my lifetime, about 3 decades, not quite, but about 3 decades, doesn't necessarily have the height, but they often have the athletes. This team blessed with both. Williams' first shot good, gives Oak Ridge a lead. His second rattled out. So Oak Ridge has a 1-point lead, 14-13, 3:18 to go in the opening quarter. Karns brings it across the half-court line. Metrick Tory into the ball game for Karns, and they're going to turn the ball over. Oak Ridge will take over. 3:09 to go in the first quarter. Oak Ridge with a 1-point lead, 14-13. We'll get to more of these names that we are honoring, former Wildcats and Lady Wildcats that have passed away all throughout the night tonight. Raekwon Watson with the ball, inbounding it now. They get it. Now to Giles. Giles wants to swing it. Nobody guards him, so he just takes a couple dribbles in, drives, no good. Cooper Williams goes up, but is fouled on his way up trying to grab that offensive rebound. And that'll be the 3rd team foul this first quarter for the Beavers. Mike and Jeff Henderson honoring tonight, sponsoring tonight's game, honoring their brother Ron Henderson and also their uncle, the great Buddy Hope. But they're also honoring and want you to honor all former Wildcats and Lady Wildcats who are no longer with us. We'll honor those names throughout the broadcast. In between the first and second quarter, we'll throw some of those names out. Hopefully you'll recognize some and you'll bring back some fond memories. Karns misses the 3. If you'd like to nominate a name and get a name on the broadcast Go onto our YouTube page, go to the comments section of the video that we're streaming right now. Search for Prep Radio Oak Ridge. Click the video, go down to the comments, and type a name out. Tell us the sport they played and tell us the years they played. We'd be happy to get them in the broadcast. I think Nick Suttles has one he'd like to mention. We'll get that in a moment. 14-13 the score, 2:30 to play and counting. Oak Ridge with a 1-point lead. Watson, Davis, Brighthart, Green, and Giles into the ball game. Cooper Williams has taken a rest. Bozeman for Karns. Spin, turns, fires an errant pass. It's saved momentarily. Karns going to keep possession. 2:12 to go in the first quarter. They pass it around the arc. Around the horn it goes. Back to Bozeman. Bozeman, little fadeaway shot from 5 feet, and he's short. Brighthart to Giles. Giles might have got away with a walk. Spins, turns, and an acrobatic play to finish the layup. Nice pass starting that break by Caden Brighthart, but a great job by Giles keeping his balance and sprinting down the court. He's got 6 on the night. Thank you, Mike Sheehan, for that stat. 7, excuse me. I can't count, but thankfully Mike can. Here's a 3 from Bubba Faulkner the other way around. Here comes Watson. Here comes a 3 from Brighthart. Good! Right in front of his family that's sitting over there a few rows up. He's got a great family, Mr. Brighthart does. Back the other way comes Karns. And there's going to be a travel before Bozeman tried to go up with it. So Oak Ridge with their biggest lead of the game, 19-15. They lead by 4 with 1 minute and 27 seconds. If my math is correct, that's 87 ticks remaining in this opening quarter. Mike, what do you want to see out of the Wildcats to finish this one strong?
Well, they're going to have to really pressure the Karns Beavers because they're really getting, especially on Bubba Faulkner. He's killing us. He's got 9, 10, 11 already.
Wow. Here comes Bryce Davis. Ball was stolen away, deflected. Who comes out of there with it? Karns. And Bubba Faulkner, who you just mentioned, is going to bring the ball up. 1 minute and 5 seconds to go. Bryce Davis guarding the ball, picking him up at the three-point line. Around the horn it goes, nearly stolen away by Brighthart, but here comes Bozeman with it. He is an aggressive player, no doubt about it. He gets a floater off the mark, no good, and here comes Giles. Wildcats have numbers. It's 5-on-4 if they want to take advantage. Garrett Giles tried to pass it to Green, and Green just couldn't quite handle it. Wildcats up 19-15. We'll get names in of former Lady Wildcats and Wildcats in just a moment. If you're waiting to hear some, we appreciate you listening. Appreciate those who have nominated names, and even if you don't have a name to nominate, we appreciate you tuning into our broadcast tonight and every night that you do. 35 seconds to go. Karns with the ball. Bozeman at the top of the key. They get the switch. Now Garrett Giles guarding him. Giles a much bigger defender, but Oak Ridge now looks like they've switched to a zone. No, they're just switching men, excuse me. Bozeman, nowhere to go with it. Bryce Davis deflects it. It's on the ground, rolling around. Karns comes out of there with it. 17 seconds to go. Karns wants to hold for the last shot. Oak Ridge wants to make him uncomfortable. They bring a double team. Force a long pass. Here comes Faulkner. Long 3, off the rim, no good. Karns comes out of there with it momentarily. They put up a brick, and Oak Ridge gets the ball back with 3 seconds. 2 seconds. Watson to Davis. Long 3 at the buzzer, no good. Oak Ridge leads 19-15 at the break. Let's get some names in. Former Wildcats and Lady Wildcats, thanks to Mike and Jeff Henderson for honoring their brother Ron and their uncle Buddy Hope. And also honoring other Wildcats and former Lady Wildcats. We're going to start off with Gary Dotson, who played football. David Weber, who played football and baseball. Ray White, who played football. Randy Booker, who played football. Mike Roach played football for the Wildcats. So did Mike Brazili. John Wheeler played football, as well as Mike Brewster, who played football. Coach Paul Brewster also coached football. Dr. Joe Tittle was the team physician. Kevin Hurt played football along with Tom Hamrick. I'm going to guess, Mike Sheehan, that that's part of the Guy Hamrick, legendary Hamrick family.
Definitely is. That's Guy's father, Tom Hamrick.
Tom Hamrick, thank you for all he did. Legendary voice at the public address announcer for Oak Ridge. David Robinson, who played football, baseball, and track from 1974 to 1977. Scott Jenkins played football. David McGaw was a manager. Charles Ivy played football. Lauren Fritz played soccer. And Jimmy Campbell played football from 1980 to 1983. We start things off in the second quarter. Oak Ridge leads by 4. They come out in a zone. Karns has the ball. In and out, no good. Somehow that shot hit every part of the rim but did not go down. As we don't have number 32's name. So we'll call him number 32. He checked in, looks from the face, he kind of looks like a young guy, so maybe he's gotten brought up from JV or something. Karns, Oak Ridge turned the ball over after they got the rebound, and then they immediately step on the out-of-bounds line. Good defense from Caden Breithardt. Karns' coach thought Caden Breithardt got away with the push. I don't think he did, but of course I'm a Wildcat fan, so, you know, of course I would think that. 7:40 to go here, just 20-some-odd seconds now into the second quarter. Oak Ridge throws the ball away, so maybe, as a former Detroit Piston used to say, ball don't lie. Typically, if the call's wrong, basketball finds a way of correcting itself. Oak Ridge turns the ball over after Karns didn't like the call. 7:30 to go in the second quarter. Oak Ridge leading still 19-15. 1-3-1 zone for the Wildcats. They're trying to trap in the corner. They're going to get a shot off his Karns. No good. Bozeman comes out of there with the rebound underneath, and he puts it back up and brings Karns within 2. Mike, he's got 4 on the night, does Bozeman, but one of the weaknesses of zone defense is you don't have a designated man to box out, and sometimes guys can slip in for offensive rebounds as they did there.
Exactly right.
Hayward checks into the game this quarter for the Wildcats. Giles, 3, good. From the corner, give the assist to Caden Breithardt. Hayward guarding Bozeman. Hayward doesn't have the offensive output that he did on the football field, but his athleticism, physicality, and leadership is valued highly by Coach Green, and he's out there trying to play defense on one of their better scorers here tonight. 6:35 to go. Bozeman tosses to Torrey. Torrey gives to Faulkner in the corner. Faulkner trying to go against Green, and Green's going to foul him. It's the right call. It stinks, though, because Shamar Smith has several inches of height on Bubba Faulkner. Didn't need to foul, but he got his hand in the cookie jar, got it down low, and as Faulkner, just a wily veteran, just saw that and went up for the shot, and of course, Shamar fouled him. I don't think Shamar needed to, though, is my point, Mike. I think if he keeps his arms straight up, he's probably got an easy block.
I definitely agree with that summation. As Faulkner's first shot is up and good. This young man is one of the best shooters I've seen so far this year, Bubba Faulkner.
Faulkner's first shot good. David Clary quickly here. This Karns team was great last year. They lost some pieces, but still, you can see they've got some athletes.
Yeah, this is a team that made it to the sub-state a year ago. They lost in the sub-state to a really good Sevier County team, but in kind of a surprise. But, you know, Bubba Faulkner's brother was just outstanding. They had big post guys inside. The Bozeman guy just became eligible here within the last 2 or 3 weeks, and he has made a big difference. You can look at Karns' record right now. It's not great, mainly because, Bozeman was not on the team, but he is now transferring over from Central High School, and as another foul is going to be called against the Wildcats. And this Karns team, don't look at their record, what it is now. Look going forward, because Bozeman's going to make a big difference for them.
He is, and Karns' coach, we talked about it in the pregame, Lee Henson, he has been there for years. Karns.
Most definitely, the court is named for him.
Speaking of Bozeman, you called it. He hits a shot. He's got 6 points on the night. I think 4 of those have come in this quarter, and Karns trails now by only 1. Nice pass in there by Brandon Hayward. Garrett Giles, it was a hard pass. It was a good pass, but it was fired in there, but it had to be, Mike. There wasn't a lot of space, and unfortunately Garrett just couldn't quite hold on to that one.
Yeah, and it glanced off the back side of the backboard, and the Karns Beavers retained possession. Wildcats up 22-21.
5:35 to go here before halftime. We'll get some more names as we go throughout this one. Karns, left side, they get it out top to Medrick Torrey. Torrey passes right side to Miller. Owen Miller long on the 3, no good. Cooper Williams wrestles the rebound away from a defender, and the Wildcats have it back. Here comes Raekwon Watson, driving left to right, gets to a teammate, finds Garrett Giles, left side, no good. Hayward with a strong rebound. He's shoved, no call. Cooper Williams battles for it. Doesn't like the call. The call is that it was last touched by Cooper Williams, so Karns gets possession back. In comes a shooter. Ladies and gentlemen, that is none other than Oak Ridge's Gavin Johnson. And Mike, he is a constant shooting threat. If he has the ball, if he's inside the Wildcat arena, he's in range.
I know, I've watched him. He is a great three-point shooter and a good defender for his size. Alec.
He's rocking a new pair of shoes too. They quite bright. I like them. Karns with the ball trying to take the lead. They're down 22-21, 4:47 to go. Karns with some youthful guys in. Passing to Bozeman inside. They're doubled by Giles and Breithart. Giles tries to block the shot. Doesn't matter. It was off the mark. And here comes Oak Ridge. Giles with in the front court. Karns wanted a walk. Oak Ridge just wants 2 more points on the board. Garrett Giles. Nice feed by Raekwon Watson. 4:26 to go in the second quarter. Wildcats with the 3-point lead. Watson nearly stole the ball away from Faulkner, but he gains possession back. He passes it around the horn. Now it goes to Tarkane. Tarkane, right corner to Bozeman. Oak Ridge doubles him. They're going to get it to Faulkner. Long 3, good. Oak Ridge, no, Karns wants a timeout. It's a 30-second timeout. Mike will keep it right here. Faulkner has had a incredible offensive game already. Still not even halfway through the second quarter. How many threes has he made?
4 threes, a 2-pointer, and 3 free throws. He has not missed from free throw land. He is a tremendous shooter. He's keeping Karns in this game by himself.
Single-handedly. We've talked about Bozeman, but Faulkner's the one who's really been filling it up. Another name we'd like to mention briefly here, Terrell Ayers from football. Also like to mention Kevin Helton, who played football, Mike Coffey, who played football, Matt Fay, who played football, Ira Green, basketball coach, Judge James Buddy Scott, who played football, Jim Ridings, who played baseball and basketball, and Jerry Batson, who played track and basketball. Wildcats have it now in the front court. Here comes 14, Gavin Johnson. We called him a shooter, and what did he just do, Mike? He nailed a 3.
Exactly.
Karns back the other way. Tarkane, long 3, in and out, front rim, no good. Cooper Williams with a strong rebound. He's going to hand it off to Breithart in the backcourt, 90 feet away from the basket. Breithart pushes the pace. Here's Johnson. Here's another 3, off the mark, no good. Battle for the rebound goes to Karns. Cooper Williams immediately fouled him. Coach Green, I think, acknowledges that that's a foul. Doesn't like the call because he didn't really think it affected the play, but Coach, I like you. I agree with you 90% of the time, but that's just a foul on Cooper, and it wasn't a smart one. 27-24 the score. Oak Ridge in the lead. 3:31 to go before half. Raekwon Watson with some token pressure in the backcourt, 3/4 court away from the Karns goal. They cross half court is Faulkner. Raekwon has got to stick on Faulkner. He has been the guy for the Beavers. Here's Tarkane, the sophomore. Or junior, excuse me, gives it to Bozeman up top. Tightly guarded as everyone else is by Breithart. They're going to get it to the corner, and that's a foul on Raekwon Watson, as who else but Bubba Faulkner was shooting a 3. He got him with the leg, Mike. He was clean up top on the way through. Wily veteran that Faulkner is, may or may not have initiated a little bit of that, but there was contact, and he gets the foul, and he'll go to the free throw line for a chance to tie this ball game.
I tell you, Faulkner is a prolific scorer for the Karns Beavers, as his first shot is up and no good. First one he's missed tonight. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Former football and basketball player that I played with, Brady Hull, one of his, I believe his grandfather, Spivey and Shelby Douglas, and one of them mentioned as well. So Spivey, long time, always around the Wildcat football program. So Spivey and Shelby Douglas. Free throw is made. I guess he missed the first, but made the second. So Karns does not have anybody in there to rebound, so they won't take the lead on this possession or won't even tie it. They do bring it within 1, though. 27-26 the score. 3:03 to go in the second quarter. Oak Ridge leading by 1. Gavin Johnson, 3, no good. Here comes Breithart. His follow is no good. Giles tried to wrestle it away, but ultimately Torrey came out of there with it for Karns. Beavers moving forward.
And the Beavers taking the lead early here in the second quarter. 2:38 left in the second quarter. Wildcats now trailing 28-27. The Wildcats worked the ball in through Kevin Breithart, but then threw it away. Bubba Faulkner with it down to Rick Troy scores 2 for the Beavers. Wildcats working around to Garrett Giles, back to Johnson on the rebound for the Wildcats. Caden Brightheart was fouled by Bubba Faulkner. Caden Brightheart will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. He was in the act of shooting when he was fouled. Trailing by 1 with 2:12 left here in the first half. Blake Dawson checks back in now for the Karns Beavers. Brightheart's first shot is up and good.
Thank you very much, Mike. I thought we had some difficulties, but thank the Lord we didn't somehow. Apologies for that, but
who was that?
Thank you, Mike, for helping us out there. 30-32 now. The Wildcats trail as I get my bearings about me. Here comes Karns on a run, and they lead by 4. Their biggest lead of the game. Coach Green looks to his bench, looks to Ted Mitchell, and says, guys, what do we do here? Trailing by 4. Here comes Raekwon Watson with a 3. It was a long one, and he was just off the front iron, a little bit short. Here comes Faulkner. Faulkner driving. He's aggressive as always. Passes out to a teammate. Pump fake. Stops and pops. Free throw line jumper. Good. And Karns leads by 6 with 1:36 to go in the second quarter. David, what just happened?
I don't know. I was working on the YouTube stream, but this is a Karns team that's feeling it. The Wildcats don't look comfortable on defense. They're doing more chasing than actually playing aggressive man-to-man. They're chasing as opposed to guarding, and they're unconscious shooting the ball. And, Karns is feeling it. That's all I can say. Karns just looks like they want this game more than do the Wildcats. Oak Ridge doesn't look like they're ready to play, and I'm sure Coach Green's telling them the same thing right now, especially on the defensive side. Oak Ridge has taken some threes when they have a decisive advantage on the inside. They've got a much bigger team, but they're electing to go with a long-range shot. They need to come back and work the ball inside, and that'll open up the outside game.
I think Cooper Williams, Dave, I don't know, I think he has at least 1 foul. I'm not sure if he has 2, but he hadn't been in a minute, and I think that's hurt. His presence has hurt the Wildcats, him not being on the court, in my opinion. Do you agree?
Most definitely. And Shamar's not getting an opportunity to get the ball. I just think we have an advantage inside that we need to take advantage of with Shamar. I mean, maybe Coach Creedon saw something in Cooper's game why he has him out, or maybe he does have the 2 fouls.
Wildcats are out there. It's Brightheart, Watson, Davis, Giles, who shoots the ball and misses. And along out there with Green, the 5 on the court for the Wildcats. Bozeman nearly stepped out of bounds with it, but Karns takes possession. He's driving against Watson. Shamar Green comes over to cut him off. Nice pass, though, to a teammate, but his layup is no good, and here comes Brightheart for the Wildcats. Brightheart may have gotten away with an extra step. Layup up and good, and they're going to say he didn't get away with it. It was a late call, but it was a right call as he took an extra step there. I don't think he liked the call, but it was the right call. Trailing by 6, the Wildcats now go to their defense. 36-30 with a minute to go. Karns in no particular hurry. Here's Bozeman. Little ISO, man-on-man game. Hits the 3. He wanted the contact, and now he's celebrating. As the Wildcats swinging around the arc, and Bozeman still celebrating on defense as he lets the ball get inside the paint past him and celebrate, I guess, but there's 2 points for the Wildcats. Karns does have a 7-point lead, so as you can talk the talk if you're up. 30 seconds to go. 7-point lead. Karns with the ball, up 39-32. Wildcats led for most of this ball game, but Karns has come back. Bozeman, Faulkner, these guys have been scoring, shooting the lights out. Oak Ridge is going to get called for a foul. Is that Price? No, it's Garrett Giles with the foul. And that's his first, but unfortunately it's a team 5th, which means Karns will go to the line with Bozeman shooting 2. Again, there's no 1-and-1 this year in high school basketball. It's instead of going to 7 for a half, it resets at 5 at the end of the quarter, each quarter. And once you get to 5, you're shooting 2.
Bozeman's first shot is up and good. Now the Beavers are up 40-32 with 22 seconds left here in the first half. Bozeman lines up for his second shot, up and no good. Rebound by Brightheart.
Thank you, Mike. As he gives it to Watson, 17 seconds to go, 15 as he crosses half court. Aaron Green barking out instructions for his team, trying to get a good possession here, get a little momentum back before halftime. Raekwon going one-on-one, drives to the hole, left side, good, and there's a foul. Raekwon Watson with a powerful finish as he was tossed to the ground, but got the bucket to go. Oak Ridge back within 6, a 2-possession game with a chance to cut it to 5 if Watson can make this free throw. 5.3 seconds to go. Watson to the line for one more. That was an impressive finish, Mike.
It certainly was. It just sheer speed and determination by Raekwon to get that ball in with under duress, to say the least, as his shot is up and good.
5-point ball game. Here comes Karns. Who else but Faulkner? Stop. Pops for 3. In and out, no good. And my goodness, they have had some shooters. Bozeman, Faulkner, these guys have shot the lights out, and because of it, the Beavers hold a 5-point lead. 40-35 the score. We want to, before we send it to break, want to also mention Bill Shabbat, who has been nominated, a late entrant here. And if you want to have someone, us mention their name of a former Wildcat or Lady Wildcat, even just a fan, if somebody contributed to the Oak Ridge sports community and they have passed away, we want you to mention them. Just go to our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. We are currently taking names. You just have to go to the comment section, add a name in there, and we can get them mentioned. Let's take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll have more names in the first half stats from the Wildcat Arena.
They say that being a coach's wife is hard, but Laura Lynn Green, wife of Oak Ridge head coach Aaron Green, and a local State Farm insurance agent, makes buying insurance easy for you. Auto, homeowners, renters, business, life, health, and much more. Laura Lynn Green's office is located at 136 Marquette Road in Oak Ridge. Give her a call today at 483-5666 or say hello to her courtside at any Oak Ridge High School basketball game. She might be a coach's wife, but she was a Wildcat fan first. For State Farm Insurance, call Laura Lynn Green in Oak Ridge.
ORUD Natural Gas is proud to offer our customers a product that saves money, provides consistent service, and is a clean energy source. You can save over $1,000 on your annual utility bills when you make the switch to natural gas for heating, cooking, and clothes drying. ORUD is your one-stop shop. We sell and install gas appliances for our customers and make it easy to add your bill with our 0% interest financing. Learn more about how much you can save at ORUD.org.
Looking for a new place to call home? Main Street Lofts in Oak Ridge, Tennessee has you covered. Offering newly built 1, 2, and 3-bedroom apartments, Main Street Lofts is a top-tier place to call home. Within walking distance of shops, restaurants, and entertainment, our community is convenience at its finest. Enjoy the 24-hour state-of-the-art fitness center, take a dip in our sparkling saltwater swimming pool, or make that perfect steak at our grilling station, and then relax by our fire pit with friends and neighbors. Your furry four-legged friends will surely love exercising in our pet park and getting pampered in our pet spa. Give us a call today to schedule a tour of your new home or visit our website at themainstreetlofts.com to check out our availability and apply for your new home. It's time to live the lifestyle you deserve.
Washboard Wash and Fold Laundry Service in Oak Ridge is not your typical laundromat. Drop off your dirty laundry today and see for yourself. You'll have the freshest, cleanest hung and folded laundry around. You need delivery? We can do that for you. Washboard Wash and Fold is also a trusted partner for all your commercial laundry needs. Here at Washboard Wash and Fold Laundry, we are proud of being voted the best in Anderson County. Located at 113 Robertsville Road, just a stone throw from Oak Ridge High School. Hey, don't wait until you're down to your last clean item. Drop them off today.
For personal, professional, and affordable accounting services, call Tracy Larrabee, CPA. Tracy's a 1978 graduate of Oak Ridge High School and can help with business, individual, estate, interest, tax accounting services, payroll processes for businesses, small business bookkeeping, tax planning, plus management advocacy services. Call Tracy Larrabee, CPA, 425-7736, or stop by 683 Emory Valley Road, Suite B. Tracy Larrabee, CPA.
Come in, discover the difference of an independent insurance agency. Fox Insurance Group, Oak Ridge.
Welcome back to the Wildcat Arena. At half, Oak Ridge leads 35-40. Tonight, we would like to thank Mike and Jeff Henderson, who are our individual game sponsors. They are dedicating these games tonight to many of the Wildcats and Lady Wildcats who have passed away. Tonight, we're mentioning names throughout the broadcast. If you'd like to get a name in that you haven't heard, go to our YouTube stream right now and put it in the comments section. We'd also like to give a shout out to L.E. Hart and Lynn Hart. We want to also mention Jimmy Martin, who played basketball, Don Stevens, who played football and basketball, Gerald Bryant, who played football and ran track, Don Stinnett, another football and track athlete, Hubert Tripp, who played football, basketball, and was a track member, Tommy Walbrecht, who played football, Leland Jones, who played football, Melvin Bobo Herring, who played football and track. We'll mention some more names momentarily, but Mike, let's get to the first half stats for the Wildcats.
Okay, thank you, Alec. First, the leading scorer of tonight's game so far is Bubba Faulkner for the Karns Beavers. He has 18. Blake Dawson has 2 for the Beavers. Chris Bozeman has 12 for Karns. Madrick Troy has 2, and Walker Lockhart has 6, for a total of 40. For the Oak Ridge Wildcats, the leading scorer so far is Garrett Giles. Right on his heels is Raekwon Watson with 13. Gavin Johnson has 3 from 1 3-pointer. Caden Brightheart has 4, and Cooper Williams has 1 to give the Wildcats 35. So halftime score, Karns Beavers 40, Oak Ridge 35. Oak Ridge led at the end of the first quarter, 19-15. But I tell you what, Bubba Faulkner has come out on fire. That young man can shoot a basketball, and he's got Karns into a 5-point lead here at the half. With 4 minutes and 11 seconds here at halftime, we're going to take a quick 2-minute timeout, and we'll be. No, we're not going to break.
No, let's keep it right here because we got
some more names. Okay, he's going to read some more names. My bad.
No, you're fine. We'll get some more names in here, and we'll take a break after that.
Okay.
I want to get a thought from David. What did Garrett Giles have? Did we mention that?
Yeah, he's got 14.
14 points. Wow. As we go throughout this list, we want to mention Sam Weir, football and basketball, Jack Shelton, football, basketball, and track, Don Sumner, basketball and track, Freddie Ware, football, David Carroll, track, Randy Nicholson, baseball, Jody Dunlap, tennis, Sammy Simmons, baseball, Kurt Delcourt, baseball, Bobby Hopkins, football, basketball, and baseball. Bobby Hopkins, one of the more famous names in Oak Ridge sports history. Jim Grubb, football, basketball, and baseball. Howard Moon, track. Tommy Chilton, track and baseball. Bethel Poston, football, basketball, baseball, and track. Regina Moore, cheerleading. Kim Hunter Tisdale, Kim Hunter Tisdale, basketball player and coach. With that, David, let's take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll get things started in the second half from the Wildcat Arena.
I'm Mike Kelly with Betsy Coleman Realty. I'm a proud graduate of Oak Ridge High School, class of 1982, and a member of the 1980 State Championship football team. As a lifelong resident of Oak Ridge, I would love to put my knowledge of the area to work for you should you have any real estate needs. You can contact me at 865-919-5559 or at betsycolemanrealty.com. Thank you, and roll Wildcats roll.
Whether you have a broken bone, a sports injury, or need a joint replacement, the experts at KOC Oak Ridge want to get you back to the life you love. Conveniently located next to Methodist Medical Center on Vermont Avenue, we have a long tradition of caring for not only student athletes, but their families as well. You can count on KOC Oak Ridge for quality orthopedic care in every season of life.
Chancellor Jamie Brooks has been practicing law in Anderson County for over 30 years. He knows our community, our people, and our values. He's a conservative with the experience and temperament you want in a judge. He listens courteously, considers thoughtfully, and upholds the law. That is why Governor Bill Lee appointed him to the bench. The Republican primary is March 5th. Let's keep Jamie Brooks as our Republican chancellor in Anderson County.
Washboard Wash and Fold Laundry Service in Oak Ridge is not your typical laundromat. Drop off your dirty laundry today and see for yourself. You'll have the freshest, cleanest hung and folded laundry around. You need delivery? We can do that for you. Washboard Wash and Fold is also a trusted partner for all your commercial laundry needs. Here at Washboard Wash and Fold Laundry, we are proud of being voted the best in Anderson County. Located at 113 Robertsville Road, just a stone throw from Oak Ridge High School. Hey, don't wait until you're down to your last clean item. Drop them off today.
Welcome back to the Wildcat Arena as we continue to go more names throughout the broadcast. Nick Suttles has a name he'd like to add to the list. Nick?
Victor Dotson.
When did he play and what did he play?
He ran track here at Oak Ridge and he went to UT, was All-American in track also. Going to become owner of Dawson Moving Storage on Warehouse Road in Oak Ridge, Tennessee.
Thank you, Nick. We invite you to join along. If you'd like to add a name, we've still got a little bit of time here. Go to the comments section on our live YouTube broadcast and type a name in. David, before we get started the second half, your thoughts on what we saw in that first half and what Oak Ridge needs to do to get a win tonight?
I'll say it again. One thing we've got to do a better job on Faulkner. I mean, he's unconscious, and he's had a great, career against Oak Ridge, as did his brother. But we've got to take advantage of our advantage, which is inside. Cooper with 1 point in the first half, and, with the advantage that we have, we've got to funnel the ball into him more. We've got to play better defense, and I think it's on the shoulders of Caden Brighthart right now. He's got to shut down Faulkner the best he can. So far, he hasn't really been able to do it, but we know how good he is on defense. Hopefully, Caden will get it done as the Wildcats will get the ball first as we start play here in the second half in a 5-point game.
Absolutely, Mike. This is a great, great crowd, as you were just mentioning, for a Saturday night, cold night. A lot of these people probably already here earlier in the day for the Robertsville-Jefferson game. It's a great crowd, isn't it? Jarrett Giles off the first possession tried to go up for a little layup on the left side, and his shot was swatted out of bounds. Caden Brighthart will inbound it. Price Davis, wide open three. He pump fakes, gives it a beautiful pass to Giles for two. Great pass, all because of the unselfishness and the smart play by the veteran Price Davis, not settling, but instead driving in, creating space for his teammate. Giles finishes it off. 3-point game now. It's back to a single possession game for the Wildcats. They were down, I think, by 8 late in the first half. They've closed the gap to 3. Karns driving against Giles on the right side. Bad shot off the mark, no good. Just a tough shot. That one wasn't going to fall. Wildcats get the rebound. Watson. The rebound went to Cooper Williams, who Dave was talking about a moment ago. He's back in the ball game, making an impact already. On the other end of things, Brighthart, who Dave was talking about, might have to carry this Wildcat team at times tonight. He drove, got fouled as the ball was poked away. So that's 2 quick fouls for Karns this half. Lob inside to Cooper, out of bounds baseline. That's an easy bucket. It's a 1-point game, 40-39 now. Karns lead down to 1, 58 seconds into this third quarter. Brighthart harassing, hounding Bozeman outside the 3-point line. Bozeman drives by and finishes anyways. Great drive by Bozeman. Now the Wildcats try to respond. Down by 3, 42-39. Inside it goes. Cooper Williams takes some contact, absorbs it, gets the bucket to go inside. A little layup off the glass. Karns racing the other way. Nearly traveled. They're going to get the ball inside. Driving against Giles, and that's not a good idea. Nowhere to go with it there. Lockhart tried to get it to go. Cooper Williams, beautiful spin move, off the glass, layup. Great pass from Watson, great finish from Cooper Williams. Oak Ridge has the lead, 43-42, 6:19 to play in the third. Here comes Karns, an errant pass nearly stolen by Giles. Lockhart corrals it before he can do so. Bozeman with it. Chris Bozeman, the 6'2 senior. Nice looking athlete for Karns. He's played well tonight. He's going to try to loop pass, gets it to a teammate, left corner. Thought about a three, swinging the ball around the arc, get it back into Bozeman. Driving inside left, pushed off against Breitharp. They don't call anything. Mike, I thought he got away with the push off there.
I did too.
He created the space he needed though, and Karns gets a deflection here, and it's a turnover. Price Davis tried to get it inside, and Karns stole it. It's Karns not getting the layup to fall, and now Price Davis trying to make up for it on the other end. He gets it into Giles. Nice pass. Giles, nice pass into Williams, and rattles off a couple people's feet, and Bozeman has it. Wildcats trail 44-43, 5:23 to go in the third quarter. Bozeman, it's almost nice to see him walk the ball up the court. Karns and Oak Ridge have been in a track meet here in the second half, and finally they slow things down. One-on-one, Breitharp gets the 5-second call. It is a joy to watch Mr. Caden Breitharp play defense.
It certainly is. He was all over him. He did not have a chance to get rid of the ball. He realized it right as the whistle blew, but it was too late. The Wildcats get the ball back on a turnover and a chance to take the lead here with 5:12 left in the third quarter, trailing 44-43.
Into the front court goes Oak Ridge. Watson, right side, thought about a three, thought about passing, decides to take the three, in and out, no good. Here comes Karns back the other way with it. Momentarily, there's a near turnover, but Karns maintains possession. They're going to launch a three from the right side. Drained it. That's Blake Dawson, the senior for Karns, who just hit nothing, barely even hit the net. Watson. Karns wanted a double dribble, but it's the correct no call as the ball was deflected by Karns, so he could pick the drop ball back up and dribble. They passed it to Breitharp, who drove baseline, tried to get up and under layup, didn't fall, but he was fouled. So Breitharp will go to line for two. There was a whistle in the background you may have heard. Play was already halted as Breitharp was getting ready to shoot a free throw. That was a warning on Karns' coach. So he's going to have a relatively short leash on these officials. You would assume. Breitharp's first free throw, in and out, no good. Karns lead back up to 4. 47-43, they lead. 4:41 to go in the third. Breitharp's second free throw, in and out, no good again. You can't afford to miss both free throws. You need to at least hit one of those, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here comes Bozeman.
Uncharacteristic of Breitharp.
Very. Here comes Bozeman, guarded by Breitharp, drives left. A lot of dribbling here for Bozeman. Finally finds a teammate at the top of the key. Guarded by Giles is Dawson. Dawson, free throw line jumper, no good. Cooper Williams tips it out, and it's corralled by Caden Breitharp. Caden pushes the pace, left side. Watson thought about a three, swings it around. Price Davis, right top of the key. One, not two, but 3 points on the board for number one, Price Davis, and it's a 1-point game once again. 47-46 the score. Oak Ridge trails Karns with the lead and the ball, crossing the midcourt stripe as we near the 3:55 mark here in the third quarter. Coach Green barking out signals. Karns' coach has taken a seat on the bench. Faulkner, left side to Dawson, another three. He drains it again, and it's raining threes of the Wildcat Arena. A 4-point lead once again. Oak Ridge, Mike, they've started to get the offense going, but they're going to have to get some stops on defense. Here's another three, no good from Price Davis. Cooper Williams gets the rebound, puts it back up. And Mikey Teasley, a baseball Wildcat, flexes from the sideline. Why? Because not only did Cooper get the 2 points, he got fouled, and he's going to go to the line. So another opportunity for a 3-point swing here. Mike, Oak Ridge is doing fine on offense, but they've got to guard the perimeter better on defense.
They certainly have. You know, Cooper's came out really hot here in the second half. He scored all 8 of his points here in this third quarter. Good job by Cooper. His first layup or free throw is up and good.
3 points the old-fashioned way for Mr. Cooper Williams. Only 1 point in the first half. Obviously, he's playing better here in the second half, at least offensively. 3:25 to go in the third quarter. Karns got away with the clear carry there. As Price Davis, I thought, got hit as he was trying to trace a loose ball. And Karns hits a three. You've got to guard the three. I don't care what the solution is, but you got to do something if you're Oak Ridge. Raekwon's layup no good. Cooper Williams follows with the two, and Karns is up by 2 now. Cooper Williams smacks a shot from Bozeman into the stands. Well, there would be stands there, but it's the baseline. Bryce
Cooper
Davis
was having none of that. I'm telling you, he swatted that ball right out into the cheerleaders.
Bryce Davis out of the ball game. Shamar Green sees his first action of the second half. Watson with the steal against Bozeman. No good. Nice play by Bozeman to not allow the easy layup. However, he did foul Raekwon, so Watson will go to the line for 2. Interestingly enough, that's Karns' 3rd foul of the quarter. So a couple more, and Oak Ridge will get free throws here. Oak Ridge has not committed a foul here in the 3rd quarter. It's 53-51 with 2:53 remaining. Wildcats trail, but with a chance to tie it with 2 made free throws. There's the first part of that equation. The first free throw is good from Raekwon. He is a floor general for the Wildcats. Turns around, gets a message from Bright Harp and Coach Green. They're calling out ahead of time what defense they're going to be in. If he can make this, they can set up the press. They cannot because he rattles it out and it doesn't fall. Oak Ridge trails by 1, 53-52, 2:45 to go in the 3rd. Bozeman, nice pass to Dawson. His shot is good. Bozeman took a lot of attention, and it was Lockhart, underneath, who's just open. Oak Ridge lost sight of him. Back the other way come the Wildcats. Here's Caden Brightheart, just one man on a mission to score that time. He drove baseline, got the bucket to go. Oak Ridge back within 1. Here comes Karns. Couple open shots at a 3. The way they've been shooting, I can't believe they passed it up. Here's Faulkner to Bozeman. Bozeman fakes Giles, gets it into Lockhart, who, did he travel? Mike wants to travel, but they're going to say he was fouled.
He got tripped up.
Mike, Oak Ridge has to get a couple stops. They're scoring almost every possession. The problem is they haven't got a stop, it doesn't seem like, since the first half.
Cooper Williams picked up his first foul of the night.
He checks out. In comes Bryce Davis after he got dinged up a minute ago. Thankfully, he seems to be back in there, and he's guarding Faulkner. Karns, an errant layup attempt, acrobatic play, but it doesn't fall. Here comes Raekwon Watson. Went up for a play. He should have used his left hand. Instead, he gives it to Bozeman, who blocked the shot. And back comes Karns the other way, and they're going to get a trip to the free throw line. David Clary, I thought if Raekwon just goes up and finishes with his left, he would have had some protection by the rim. Instead, he shifted back to his right hand. Bozeman was trailing his right side, and he got called for the foul.
They did, but but it was a good play defensively for the Wildcats. But they have got to do a better job on the perimeter. You said it all night. They have got to do a better. In fact, they've got to start, instead of trying to block shots inside, they need to try to take some charges too. I've seen a couple times where they have just driven the lane, and we've just tried to block the shot instead of just stepping in the way and getting a charge.
Made them both, so it's 57-54 with 1:52 to play. That's a lot of 50s in one sentence. In the 3rd quarter, Oak Ridge trailing by 3. If they hit a 3, they'd tie the ball game, but they don't need one. So a lot of time left to play here. Bryce Davis looking inside. They're trying to get it Shamar Green. They can't do it, though. Nice interior defense as Karns has gone to a 2-3 zone. They really are packing the paint now, understanding that they're undersized. Here's Giles. They get it inside. Giles kicks it back out to Brightheart. Fakes from 3, drives inside, and he gets fouled. I think he was shooting. He was. So Caden Brightheart now goes to the free throw line for 2. Any more fouls from Karns, Oak Ridge will be shooting 2, as that was actually their 5th foul. So regardless of whether that was shooting or not, Oak Ridge is going to be shooting 2 from here on out to end this quarter. 1:26 to play in the 3rd. Brightheart to the line, first of 2. Free throw up, bottom of the net. It's a 2-point game now. Oak Ridge has a deep roster. They haven't gone very far into that bench. Gavin Johnson played a minute or 2 late in the first half, hit a 3. Jarrell Jimerson has not played. Charlie Taubenheim has not played. Malik Howard has not played. Second free throw is good from Brightheart, and that's good news for the Wildcats because now the lead for Karns is down to 1. 57-56, 1:17 to play in the 3rd. Here comes Karns. Errant 3, way off the mark. Sound the alarm. That's an air raid as an air ball was shot from Karns. And the Wildcats, Mike, they have a chance to take the lead right here.
Hopefully it'll transpire into a basket.
1:09 left to play. Raekwon Watson passes left side Giles. Around the arc it goes. Bryce Davis to Watson on the right side. Giles inside, easy layup, and the Wildcats have the lead. With 55 seconds to go, clock is ticking. Here comes Karns, trailing by 1. They've led most of this 3rd quarter. 3-point shot, and yep, Bryce Davis fouled him. I'll say this. Oak Ridge is fouling. Most of these calls are legit. They are fouling, but Karns is very good at making sure the officials know there's a foul. They hit the deck. If there's contact, they hit the deck. And
Bubba Faulkner did a little bit of acting on that.
well, I don't understand this at all.
He did a flop.
I'm glad it's not, but I don't understand how that was not within the act of shooting.
Me either.
That's a three-point shot. Oak Ridge, you would think, would have sent.
A little break right there.
I'm not sure how fouled on a three-point shot. They're not getting free throws, but wow, Oak Ridge benefited from that call. Here's Bozeman on the right side, trying to find something going against Bright Harp. Not much there. He's going to pull up and settle for a jump shot, and settling worked. He didn't really make up any ground, but he rose up and hit a jump shot. He's got a nice stroke from outside. Here's Bright Harp the other way, trying to answer. He can't. Shmar Green battling for the rebound. Karns has it, and Green couldn't get his hands away quick enough, and they're going to call him essentially over the back. 59-58, Karns leads by 1. 22 seconds to go in this third quarter. Oak Ridge putting on their full court press. 4 of Wildcats at one time were in the backcourt, and now they back off. They're going to drop into a man-to-man. No, it's going to be a zone, a very, very extended zone as Karns drives baseline, kicks outside. Bozeman, deep three, short. And that's the end of the quarter. Karns leads it 60-58. We're going to keep it right here and get some more names in as we continue to honor past Wildcats and Lady Wildcats who have passed on and are no longer with us, thanks to the generous donation and idea of our game sponsors tonight, Mike and Jeff Henderson, in honor of their brother Ron and Uncle Buddy Pope. We want to mention Brittany Frazier, who played basketball, Cynthia Dunnigan, who played basketball, Nancy Reed, who played basketball, cross country, and softball, Siddhartha Van, the first ever women's basketball coach for the Lady Wildcats, Mitch Coffey, who played football and baseball, Bob Sims, who played baseball, Jim Vines, who played baseball, Chris Waters, who played basketball and baseball, Tavelis Vel Brock, who played football and basketball, Jackie Pope, one of the greatest Wildcats in history. He played football and track and basketball. Gary Alexander Jr. played football from 95 to 98. Taylor Archer played basketball in 1957. Dr. Don Ketron, tennis, Dr. Don Ketron, who played tennis from 1957 to 1958. Wayne Mullins played football in 1988. Brad Dew, a 1998 football player. Norman Jefferson, who played basketball. Richard Howard, who played football and basketball from 1988 to 1992. Curtis Booker, who played football and basketball. We'll continue with more names the next chance we get. Mike, final quarter of play here. Wildcats have to be better on defense, and that's a good start.
Good block.
Shamar Smith rejected Faulkner's shot, who had a good chance of making it. Here comes Raekwon the other way. Layup, no good. Shamar Smith's putback attempt, no good. And Karns will hold on to the ball and their 2-point lead for now. Faulkner into the front court, working against Bright Harp, gives it off to Torrey. Torrey passing it around the arc, goes to Bozeman, working against Price Davis. Just Bozeman flexing again. He scores and he lets you know about it. As here come the Wildcats the other way. They need an answer. They do not have much of an answer for Bozeman, who's going to just leave wide open Gabe Bright Harp, who kind of looks at him as if to say, you're going to give me that? I'm a good enough shooter to make that. Oak Ridge pulls within 1. They play a 30-second timeout. We'll mention some more names. We want to mention Buddy Pope, who played baseball and football. He was a coach at Oak Ridge as well. Teresa Gooch, who played softball and volleyball. Leard Rowan, who played football. Steve Norman, who played football. Jesse Larrabee, who played football. Steve Coffey, another football player, along with Don Carson, who played football. Alan Reynolds and Emin Love both played football. 62-61 will continue to get through names as we get throughout this fourth quarter. Mike, 7:04 to play, down by 1. What's the key for Oak Ridge? What's the key for Oak Ridge, down by 1, in order to be able to just take
this lead? We've got to get some stops. I'm telling you, they're really working on this inside. They are so quick. They're not the tallest team we've ever played, but they've got some really scrappy players. You know, Bubba Faulkner was lights out in first half, but not so much this half. But Chris Bozeman stepped up big time for the Karns Beavers.
Karns right side outside the three-point line. It's Torrey. Torrey drives inside, is hammered. Oak Ridge doesn't like the call.
Man.
I think it's probably the right call. Fairly obvious one, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And Torrey goes to the line for 2. Will remain a one-possession game, though. Karns is not even going to attempt to put anybody down there to rebound. All 4 guys other than Torrey, the shooter, are in the backcourt ready for Oak Ridge's defense. Torrey misses the first one and gives fake handshakes to, I guess, invisible teammates as it may. It's just part of his routine. He wants to keep it the same. Nobody's down there to kind of give him a high five, but he does it anyways. Torrey's second free throw up and no good. So Oak Ridge escapes without giving up a point after fouling a shooter. 6:45 to go, 1:15 into this 4th and final quarter. We've got a great one going here. Karns is up 62-61. Sneaky pass into Giles. Giles slams it home right in the face of Walker Lockhart, and the Wildcats have the lead. Student section tapping their heads. Karns throwing the ball out of bounds, and the Wildcats have momentum. Mike, the crowd is awake.
And that's exactly what the Wildcats need to do, is work the ball inside to the big man. Cooper, Giles, Shamar Green, these guys need to get inside and put the ball in the hole.
What a basketball game this is. Back and forth, the Beavers and Wildcats go. Wildcats have it in the front court. In the right side, Price Davis, not usually real aggressive, but he's going to take a 3, and he's going to make a 3. His second three-point tray of the night, and the Wildcats lead it 66-62, and Karns has seen enough. No. A technical foul? I thought it was a signaling for a timeout.
Oh, my.
Technical foul on Lee Henson.
Technical foul apparently on the bench.
No, it was David Clary just chimed in. He saw what we didn't. It's Lee Henson. I thought he stood up to call a timeout. Apparently, he stood up to complain. And David, he had already been warned, so that short leash that we talked about, it came to fruition.
Yeah, most definitely. You know, Coach Henson, he is an emotional guy. He's been there a long time, and he has just seen his team, you know, with the big lead, have it shrink down, and he just got frustrated. And he's firing up his guys as Caden knocks down both free throws.
He wants a timeout. He wants a timeout. If the officials will give it to him, they will. So now he's really seen enough, David. Up by 6.
Wow.
They want a full timeout, David. Let's send it to a 30-second timeout, then we'll come back after this.
Chancellor Jamie Brooks has been practicing law in Anderson County for over 30 years. He knows our community, our people, and our values. He's a conservative with the experience and temperament you want in a judge. He listens courteously, considers thoughtfully, and upholds the law. That is why Governor Bill Lee appointed him to the bench. The Republican primary is March 5th. Let's keep Jamie Brooks as our Republican chancellor in Anderson County.
Welcome back to Oak Ridge High School, where the Wildcats, after 2 technical foul free throw shots were made by Caden Brighthart, though it's a big play in the game. The Wildcats lead at 68-62. David Clary would be happy to know that Nick Suttles was telling us about a Karns coach and Ricky Norris, an event that I guess nearly occurred a few years back. We'll continue to get some names in. If you haven't yet and want to honor somebody, go to YouTube and put it in the comments section. The next chance we get, we'll rattle off some more names here. We continue to honor past Wildcats and Lady Wildcats who have passed away. It's an honor to be on a broadcast honoring so many legends in our community. Oak Ridge's Price Davis drives in, and he's fouled by Karns' Owen Miller, the 5'10 sophomore. He's played a little bit of basketball here tonight, kind of sparingly, but hasn't appeared to make too many mistakes, but that is one, as Price Davis was going to the free throw line. Price in basketball, not quite the, maybe doesn't make quite the ooh and ah plays that he does in football, but he's just kind of steady Eddie. He's reliable, not a selfish guy, doesn't need to be a volume guy, doesn't have to have the ball in his hand, but is there to play defense, can hit shots when he needs to. As here's Karns. He did not hit either of the free throws, though. It stays a 6-point lead for the Wildcats. 5:42 to go in the 4th. up 68-62. Karns with it, Faulkner working against Ray Watson. Faulkner, an isolation play. They're trying to get a screen with Bozeman. They do. They get the switch. As here comes Oak Ridge. Giles thought about taking it, tried to pass it, thought better of it. He's double teamed, being harassed. He finds Price Davis, who they say walk. I didn't see it. The crowd didn't see it. Coach Green didn't see it, but apparently the official did, as that's just not a popular call. 5:15 to go in the fourth quarter. 68-62 the score. Faulkner with it. They get the switch again from Bozeman, which matches up Faulkner with Oak Ridge's best perimeter defender in Brightheart. He passed the ball away, though. Karns fired up a shot, and it was no good. Ray Watson now bringing the ball across half court for the Wildcats. 4:52 to play here. Nice give and go. Price Davis to Giles underneath. Good! Entry pass at the free throw line to Price Davis. Price Davis with the no-look bounce pass to a cutting Garrett Giles, who streaked in for a layup, and it's an 8-point lead for the Wildcats. 70-62 the score, 4:31 to go in the fourth quarter. And Karns nearly backcourt. 5-second count is on. They get it away. Bozeman against Watson. Bozeman's shot, he nestles it in. I don't know that he's made an open shot all night. Every shot he has taken and making, it's a tough shot, but somehow he's getting those shots to fall. He's a great offensive player, isn't he?
He certainly is. He's been all they've got here in the second half as Cooper goes inside and lays it in for the Wildcat.
Bozeman not happy. I'm not sure if he was called for the play. No, I don't think he was called. I think it was.
I want to mention real quick, Alec, the Lady Wildcats won tonight 76-46, an outstanding performance by Paige Taylor's Lady Wildcat.
Absolutely. Maybe they're probably that I've seen in person, definitely their most complete performance, start to finish on both ends of the floor.
I totally agree with that summation.
Hard to find much to complain about when you're going through the film on that one if you're Coach Taylor and staff. Free throws, a free throw was missed, but he did make the bucket, so Oak Ridge has an 8-point lead, 72-64, 4 minutes on the clock here in the fourth quarter. Karns with it. Here's Dawson. Dawson matching up against Garrett Giles. He picks up his dribble. That's a mistake. 5-second count is on. He gets it away to Torrey. Torrey guarded outside the three-point line by Price Davis. Torrey wants a three. He's going to step into it and take it. Short, no good, but Dawson comes out of there with it. Dawson nearly got it stolen away, finds Lockhart in the corner three. Off the rim, no good. There's a tie-up for the ball with Giles and Dawson. It's a jump ball. And what direction does it point, Mike Sheehan?
The Oak Ridge Wildcat.
With 3:38 to go in this one, up by 8. Giles inbounding, no backcourt pressure, so Watson just kind of jogs across half court. Nobody picks him up. He drives to the rim. No good is his shot. And that's unbelievable. Lockhart, that's unbelievable. Karns clearly touched it out of bounds. Oak Ridge didn't even go for the rebound. It went out of bounds, and somehow they give Karns the ball.
The Oak Ridge
student
body is livid over that call.
That is terrible. Wow. Karns the other way. There's 2 points. Credit to Mr. Referee, and Karns wants a timeout to think about it. 30-second timeout. Let's get some more names in here. We want to honor Charlie Green, who played football, Kevin Kalia, who played baseball, Alex Fagan, who played basketball, Charles Ty, who played basketball from 62 to 1964, Sam Hurt, who played football, Eli Noe, who played baseball, Steve Britton, who played basketball, Darrell McClanahan, who played basketball, Johnny Golden, who played basketball, Newell Lane played basketball and baseball, Michael Showboat Hall, Edward Henderson, Rufus Shepard, who played football, Dick Truitt played football in 1962, Joey Kosak, who played football and basketball for Oak Ridge, Kenny Williams, who played football, Roger Higginbotham, who played football, Jeff Culver played baseball, Kenny Sumner played from 1949 to 1951, Wade Davis, who played basketball, Mike Ray, who played football, and Keith Guthrie, who played football and baseball. And I said it earlier in the girls' game, and I'll say it again now. Keith Guthrie, great football coach. The best football coach I ever had, was teaching things at the middle school level to quarterbacks and to players that a lot of people don't even learn at the high school level. But as good of a football coach as he was an even better man and a leader of young men. Keith Guthrie. Back the other way, Oak Ridge. Three-point shot is off the mark. Karns comes out of there with the rebound, and it's stolen away. Raekwon Watson looking behind him. Karns gives chase. They get the ball to Giles. Giles inside. Wisely backs it out to Raekwon, and Raekwon says, hold on, let's slow things down here. We're up by 6. 72-66, 2:41 to go in the fourth. Raekwon Watson spaces the defense out, drives in, passes to Cooper. Karns gets the steal. Here comes Bozeman. He's racing the other way. He's got speed. Goes against Giles. Euro step. Layup off the glass. Good, and it's a 4-point game. Garrett Giles now tosses the ball back into Ray Watson. Oak Ridge up by 4. Pass to Cooper Williams, who's being slung down. Cooper did not like that. I think it's an intentional foul. I don't think the officials are going to call it that way. I don't think that it was malicious.
Him and Lockhart got kind of locked up together.
I don't think it was malicious intent.
I agree. I don't think so
However,
either.
Cooper Williams was trying to shoot that ball, and they're not calling it a shooting foul. That's another miss by the official. They lob it into Cooper. Cooper goes up, contacted again, no call, but it doesn't matter. Cooper makes the play and finishes it at the rim. 74-68, the Wildcats are fired up, particularly Price Davis, who is clapping as a defender right in the ball handler's face. They double team Bozeman. Bozeman shoots a 3, no good. Raekwon Watson comes out of there with the ball, 1:59 to go, and that's gonna be it. Karns' coach is gonna be out of here. 3 strikes, you're out. That's the second technical foul on you, and he's not done yet. You can keep talking, he's out of the ball game. That's your second technical foul. And now they're letting him call a timeout. David Clary, if you get 2 technical fouls as a call, are you not allowed? Are you not tossed?
You are. So obviously that first technical must not have been on Coach Henson. But, just to go back to a play right before, that was absolutely a terrible call on the baseline that should have been out of bounds. Going back to that, we have not gotten, I'm not complaining about the officials. I mean, we have not gotten a 50-50 call all night in this ballgame. Would you agree with that?
Not many, and we're the home team, and I don't get that. But David, I don't want to interrupt you, but we're going to get some more names in here. We want to make sure we get these people in honor and mention their names. Justin Young played basketball. Jeff Shaw played football. Shannon Wimes played basketball. Fred Gwynn played basketball along with Randy Kirk and Frank Kirk, who both played, or Randy Kirk played basketball. Frank Kirk played baseball. Gene Williams also played baseball. Chris Chambles played football. Kevin Oakes played basketball. Ray Karns, who played basketball. Chase Forrester, who played football. Jan Kennedy was a super fan. Marcellus Jones played football. Michelle Elliott played basketball. Margaret Gottshaw was a girls track and volleyball coach. Monet Monroe ran track. Robert Slim Goodman played basketball. Carol Smith played basketball. Ronnie Coker was a class of 1986. Mark Fuller, class of 1985. Michael Lantrip played football. Karen Rigdon played basketball. Bobby Hazelet played football and basketball. Mark Copeland played football. As the music stops, the technical free throws are going to be shot by Caden Brightheart, who made both technical free throws earlier. He missed that one. We'll finish those names up at the next chance we get. Brightheart's second free throw, pure. Oak Ridge now up 75-68 with 1:56 to go. This one is not out of reach for a team like Karns, who can score so quickly. However, they're going to have to stop Oak Ridge from scoring, which they haven't been able to do real well lately. Raekwon gets the inbound from the sideline inbound, takes it back court, runs some clock off. He does get across the half court before the 10-second count finishes. Raekwon, spin move, and he walked. He walked. Oak Ridge wanted contact, and it was questionable. There may have been some, but I think that's probably the right call. Personally, I know that's not popular, but, you guys know, listening, I'll complain to refs when I think fit, and I've done that tonight, but I think that was the right call. Clang! There's off the backboard. Shot missed from Karns. He gets his rebound. Another shot. That's missed as well. Price Davis with a rebound. Wisely sees Coach Green say, hold on. We need to run some clock. Here comes Ray. He's never shy with the ball. Takes the foul, gets the foul, and gets 2 more points. Now Cooper Williams is talking his stuff as Bozeman and him have a few exchange of words. 77-68 as Karns is going to take another timeout. They're going to take a full timeout, and we're going to say some more names as Oak Ridge, Wildcat fans who have passed and players, Wildcats who have passed who we're honoring would like to see the Wildcats win surely tonight. Cordell Bohannon played basketball. Paolo O'Neill played basketball.
Thank you.
Anthony Shannon was a basketball Wildcat. Steve White played baseball. Sammy Morrison played football from 1963 to 1966. Paul Hurry played football and was a 1958 national champion. Thomas Curran played football. Also Bill Shabbat, Lynn and L.E. Hart. Spivey Douglas and Shelby Douglas. Barry Timmons played football. And David, just so many great Wildcats on that list. So many great human beings on that list.
You know, I agree 100%. You know, I didn't get a chance to watch all of these guys' plays, but I have heard almost every one of these names before from older Wildcat fans. And you know, obviously I've seen a good portion of these people play, but the ones from the 40s and the 50s are really big names of Oak Ridge sports. See what Ray can do here. Coach Henson has seen his team kind of collapse down the stretch here, but the Wildcats have struggled a little bit at the free throw line.
They have. Hopefully it won't come back to haunt them, as thankfully this has got a little bit of breathing room here with 1:15 to play, up 77-68. Bozeman stops, pops, can't make the shot, and Cooper Williams comes out of there. Cooper Williams, I think, kind of quietly, a big key in the second half. Didn't play a lot of minutes in the first half, but really has played well in the second half. And there he is again, Cooper Williams. Big Coop underneath, gets 2 more points for the Wildcats. And it's an 11-point game with 50 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. Karns going to launch a 3, no good. Rebound to Watson. Raekwon Watson wants to push the pace. 3-on-2 break if he wants it. And he's going to drive in. Layup, good. That will be Johnny Boy ball game. 81-68, 35 seconds remaining. Karns, Balkman going to launch a 3. Shot no good. Balkman had such a great first half, Mike. Oak Ridge has done a much better job defending him in the second half.
They certainly have. But they just about shut Bubba Faulkner down. He has scored no points in this second half, which is amazing. But then Chris Bozeman stepped up for the Beavers. He was their big gunner in this second half of this game. With the Wildcats, Cooper Williams has been super here in the second half.
Karns gets a steal. Here comes Bozeman. Bozeman attacking the rim. Layup, good. Karns is not going to put a lot of pressure. They're going to put a little bit of pressure, try to make Oak Ridge do something with it. 10-second count is on. They will have to get it past half court. Price Davis does. They pass it to Watson in the corner, and both teams are going to kind of run the clock out, but Bozeman runs his mouth again. Whoa, Bozeman just threw a punch to a fan. Bozeman just threw a punch to a fan, and this could get ugly. Bozeman has run his mouth all night, and he just slapped. It may not have been a punch, but he just slapped a fan. What happened? Bozeman got in Price Davis's face to talk. He did not get physical, but got right up next to his face to talk. A fan did not like it. Price Davis kind of yelled up in the air, not at his face, but Bozeman was right beside his chin. So Price Davis responds with that talk after being victorious by kind of just yelling up in the air. He did not like that. A fan from Oak Ridge did not like that. A fan came up and approached Bozeman. Bozeman threw a slap, made contact, and then it was almost on. But thank goodness, officials, players, everyone kind of got in the way and did not let that escalate any further. Bozeman, in the process, was given a technical foul before the clock expired. So Oak Ridge, I don't know how that affects him going forward, David. Oak Ridge theoretically probably should have an opportunity to shoot a couple free throws. They won't, and they shouldn't at this point because everyone needs to just get out of here.
It's a moot point.
However, 81-70 is the score. Your Oak Ridge Wildcats did beat Karns. It was a sweep again tonight. David Clary, what a ball game.
Oh, yeah, almost definitely. You know, the Wildcats had trouble guarding in the first half, and I'm not going to say I know everything about basketball because I surely don't, But I think things got better when we finally were starting to get the ball inside to Cooper Williams. I mean, the Wildcats struggled, and Cooper only had 1 point at the halftime. We had an advantage there all night. Yeah, they're quick and they have some really good shooting guards, but we had an advantage inside. They finally were able to utilize that later, and as well as I do, Karns didn't substitute all that much, and I believe at the end, especially there in the fourth quarter, their jump shooters weren't able to hit the shots they were, and we were getting some stops on defense, and we made some plays down the stretch. That's all you can say. And I think the better team. Well, Karns is good. I look forward to that game at Karns coming up, and that's a really, really good basketball team. But Bozeman, just a little bit of an attitude there, and I think the problem going forward, obviously. The game was over. I mean, when the punches, we didn't need to be shooting free throws. I think the problem, I think there's a TSSAA rule about fans and players getting into it. I was not watching that. Who threw the first punch? Our fan or the player?
David, there was no first. It was one punch. That was it. And I don't know if there's discrepancy. I don't want to incorrectly say it. To me, from my vantage point, it was tough. It looked more like an open hand deal, but the Karns player swung and appeared to make contact. Now, the Oak Ridge fan did, to me, look like he charged back to try to retaliate, but I don't know if it was it may have been Cooper Williams or it was a player, or somebody on the court, whether it was a player or whoever, wisely held that fan back. So there was no, I think if left to their own accord, the fan would have done something, but they did not because. And then thankfully, police and other folks, other folks stepped in, and it didn't escalate. But that could have gotten very ugly. And Bozeman was talking all game, and the officials, they had teed a couple people up. But at some point, someone, whether it's the coach, the player, the official, someone has to take responsibility and get control of that situation. Because if you don't, that's what happens. And thankfully, that didn't escalate further than it did, but you have to wonder for Karns, that's one of your best players. That's got to be on video. I'm sure we've got it. And
Coach Gaddis just asked me if we had it on video. Hopefully we were recording when that happened. It definitely was on the stream, and hopefully we've got it on the camera.
You would think that, I would assume that there would be some sort of something reprimanded if there's proof. And again, you hate to see that because Bozeman, emotions in the moment, they're tough. And Bozeman is a very good player. However, you can't have that happen. And to me, it looked like, from my vantage point, again, I'm not down there, I don't hear what's being said. It appeared that Bozeman started it by approaching Price Davis to say something, basically get in his face when the game was over. Price responded by not looking at Bozeman, although Bozeman was essentially touching him or right up on him. He just kind of yelled up in the air, let out a yell as the clock expired, and he was getting teed up, was Bozeman, at that point. Then, as the clock expired, the fan came out in kind of response of what had happened to Bozeman and Price, and that's when Bozeman responded, swung, and then it was on. But I don't want to ruin what has been a great night of basketball by really belaboring that point. That will get itself worked out. What I do want to do is say a special thank you to Jeff and Mike Henderson, who on this terrific night of basketball for the city of Oak Ridge, so many guys and gals have played for Robertsville and Jefferson because of the game being postponed yesterday. A lot of folks have seen Robertsville's JV play Jefferson's JV, saw Robertsville's girls and boys teams play each other. About a 2.5-hour gap between those games and when the girls' game started here tonight. They saw Oak Ridge defeat Karns, the girls' team, 76-30 or 76-46, and then they saw Oak Ridge in what was truly a really good game, back and forth the whole way from Karns and Oak Ridge. They saw the boys' team, Oak Ridge, defeat Karns by a final of 81-70, and what a night to sponsor games. We want to thank again Mike and Jeff Henderson, who sponsored this game financially, but also gave us the idea. And their idea, they wanted to honor their brother Ron Henderson, who has passed away, former great Wildcat, military serviceman, great human being by all accounts, and Buddy Pope, who was a great Wildcat as an athlete, a great Wildcat as a as a coach, and again, by all accounts, an even better Wildcat just as a human being and a man and a molder of young men. Mike, you can speak to that if you'd like, but what they have done, their idea, instead of just honoring one or two people that they know, they have selflessly shared the wealth and said, we want to allow other people to honor former Wildcats that have passed. It doesn't matter if they passed at a young age, at an old age, if they played a year, if they were a star, if they just were on the team. They wanted to honor former Wildcats, and so we've had hundreds of names and hundreds of people who we've honored throughout the broadcast tonight, and I think we got every name mentioned at least twice. And Mike, that's such a great, selfless thing for them to do, and it means so much to so many people. You know, you've probably got people that went to school and haven't heard names in 30 years, and they may not have been the one that mentioned the name, but just hearing that name again, I can't imagine how special that is. And thank you again to Mike and Jeff Henderson for sponsoring tonight's broadcast and giving us that idea. Mike?
Absolutely, Alec. I tell you, I graduated with Mike, and I played a lot of softball against his brother Jeff, and just two of the nicest guys you'd ever want to know. And it's one of the most thoughtful things that I've ever seen happen in radio broadcasting is to do this, honor all these people that have passed from the Oak Ridge football, basketball, track, tennis, filming, it doesn't matter, whatever. Just tremendous bunch of people as a group. And it amazes me when I look over that list just how many I knew, and it saddens me to know that they're gone. They're a legacy now. And we really appreciate the thought that Mike and Jeff had to do this over tonight's sponsorship. So thank you again, Mike and Jeff, for a great sponsorship for tonight's basketball game. You couldn't have chosen a better night, Billy. Saturday night, a lot of fans here. This is a packed house just about, and it was a great basketball game, both girls and boys. Girls won 76-46. Boys won 81-70.
And before you read those stats, David, I want to give you a chance. David Clare, of course, play-by-play, the voice of the Wildcats for decades now. David, you've been selfless and let me step in the booth and kind of stay in practice and let me scratch the broadcasting itch as you do from time to time. And so thank you for letting me and Mike kind of have a night up here.
Really?
We appreciate that, and we appreciate you helping us behind the scenes as you have, and Mark Haste and Shauna Haste as well. But David, I want to give you a chance to kind of talk about what we've done tonight here and what has been made possible by the contributions from Mike and Jeff Henderson.
Yeah, what Mike Sheehan just said a moment ago is just an incredible idea that Mike and Jeff Henderson came up with, and I heard something that Mike just said a moment ago about he makes him sad because when you read off and he read off some of the names on this list, these are people we knew, and for Mike, he played with some of these people and got a chance to watch. We all got a chance to watch some of these people play as kids. And the great Jackie Pope, I never saw him play. I wasn't born when he was playing, but I got to know him pretty well, over the course of years. And, it is very sad, honestly, that these people are not with us. But, Mike and Jeff have made it possible for us to remember them in this ball game, and what great ball games to watch. I mean, the Lady Wildcats game was a blowout, but that was the rematch of the district championship game a year ago, and Oak Ridge won by about 30. And then we had a come from behind. The Wildcats were trailing most of this game, so not only did we have a great game to watch, girls and guys, we also got a chance to relive some of the great names of Oak Ridge past. And I think it's been a great night, and I'm glad we won both games. And I'd like to personally thank Mike and Jeff Henderson once again as well for sponsoring our broadcast.
And we are going to send it to Mike Sheehan for the stats.
Thank you very much, Alec. First for the Karns Beavers.
Actually, Mike, if you can hold on 1 second, Coach Green is just walked in.
Sure.
That way we can not hold him up. I appreciate you letting me interrupt you. I wasn't trying to be rude.
Not a problem.
As Coach Aaron Green joins us now. Coach, hope you had a great Christmas. Happy New Year. And congratulations. At Karns, it's kind of like PAL through the years. It doesn't matter what the year is, what the talent is, what the record is. Karns and PAL, it seems like those teams always give us a tough fight. And, we had some battles with them last year. And it's another good team this year. They got a lot of playmakers, and it was a great game tonight.
Yeah, it was a good win. I was proud of our guys. For battling back, we were didn't play great. I thought the first 3 quarters, really. I mean, I thought Karns had a lot to do with that. We gave up, I told them at halftime we give up 40 points. They're on pace for 80. That's not who we are. If we give up 40 this half, talking about the second half, you'll get beat. In the third quarter, 60. They scored 60, so we gave up 20 more. So it was on pace to score 80 again. And the message at the end of the third quarter was like, if they score 20 this quarter, you're going to get beat. And we held them to 10. They got really held them to 8. They got a trash bucket there at the end when we turned it over there with like the last 20 seconds. But so I was proud of them. It's you're not always going to play your best every night. I don't think we played our best tonight, in my opinion. I thought we really missed Brennan tonight. That showed up a little bit. I thought Price did a really good job, made a big 3 over there. But against that zone and stuff, we, just minus a shooter, which hurt us a little bit. But I was proud of the guy, how we responded, and we could have easily lost that ball game. Bozeman's really good for them. He's tough. He transferred over there from Central this year, and number 12 is also a transfer. But he's a difference maker. You take him off that team, they're a different team. But he ended up with 30, and we were, I thought one, shot the eyes out of it the first half, and he's not typically that, great of a shooter, and he just shoots it decent. But typically, they had 3 or 4 there in the first half. But I was proud of our guys. I thought Cooper, the fourth quarter showed up and finally got on the glass a little bit and was able to stretch it out. But I was proud of our guys. It was a good win.
I want to ask about Cooper because he didn't play a lot in the first half. I think may have had 1 point. In the second half, to me, I thought he was one of the big difference makers. He was so consistent. We know he's got soft hands, a soft touch around the rim. He was a big difference maker on the offensive end in the second half. Did you see something that you didn't like in the first half, or what was the story?
He was, he had one. You're right. He had 1 point there. Looking at the stat sheet here, he ended up with 17 in the second half. He was in foul trouble. He got his 3rd foul, so he didn't play as much because of his foul trouble. And then he picked up his 4th. There in the third quarter and had to sit. And he actually had 17 and really didn't play the entire second half because he picked up his 4th. That was almost in a little over a quarter. He got 17. Actually, most of them looking at here. Well, I was wrong there. He got 3rd and 4th quarter, but yeah, he stepped up there. And we had the advantage with our size. We didn't really take advantage of it the first half. Didn't have nearly as many offensive rebounds we're supposed to. I'm not looking at it, but I know we had a ton more offensive rebounds in the second half.
Bryce Davis, I thought he was a big player as well, and he's just kind of steady Eddie. He's not a flashy player, but I just wanted to kind of mention that. Yeah. I thought he hit some key buckets to give you guys some momentum when you guys needed it, and then of course what he did on the defensive end in the second half was really good too.
Yeah, he's been hurt. He had a bad ankle sprain early in the year, missed several weeks, and he's just now kind of hitting his stride. And I thought his 2 threes. I said it second. I thought his 2 threes there in the second half were really, really big. So, we got to clean some stuff up. We're trying to play the big lineup. Started again tonight. Seemed like we're getting off to slow starts. That's a decision I got to make. I don't know if we're going to stay with that or not. It's just something that it's not really who we are, kind of out of sync. So I'm not real sure if that's going to be something we're going to be able to do. But with Brendan down, that's it's kind of what we've done. We've started a big lineup, and then second half we end up going smaller with Price instead of Shamar. So, but it's good to have that option if we want it. But I just don't think we're at our best right now with that big lineup for sure. I
want to ask you one more question, and I don't necessarily need you to comment on this. I don't want to get in trouble or anything, but I will say, sort of an ugly scene at the end could have been really ugly. Instead, it was calmed down. But I just want to commend you and your team because the reaction could have been a lot worse, and you guys sort of held their ground and didn't go crazy in a moment that I've seen other sports teams, even Oak Ridge teams. It was a moment that very easily, in a high emotion, a game like this could have gotten very bad for both ways. And fortunately, I think for Oak Ridge, the person involved was a fan, not a player.
Right.
But anyways, moving on. Just talk about this week. Obviously, Tuesday, potentially there's some weather, but a couple big games this week on the road.
Yeah, no doubt. I was, that last situation there at the end of the game. It's one of those deals where, I addressed it with our team after the game. Keep your composure. But I don't know what was said or kids talk. But I reminded our guys about being, showing class and, doing your talking with, with your play and. Having good character and trying to do things right. And, if we were talking or doing anything out of character, that's not who we are. But Don't really know exactly what happened, but I agree with you. I mean, that could have been a bad situation. But, yeah, I mean, you move on to the next one. I tell our guys, I got another league game on Tuesday, Martin Luther King Day on Monday, and we got no school. But, every day is a chance to improve. We've every league game is you're playing for a championship every time you play a league game. And we're, and I think our guys are starting to figure this out. We're going to get everybody's best shot regardless of who we're playing, what the records are. They're going to play us really hard and be ready to rock and roll. And we know that. And we just got to, make sure we're kind of playing with that edge that we need to play with. And I don't think we had it the first half. We finally found it there in the fourth quarter. But for us to accomplish what we want to accomplish, we got to have that edge for 32 minutes.
Coach, I'm sure you kind of grunt when you see me up in the booth because you know the interviews are going to be long. I'll let you go, though.
No, you're good.
Thank you so much, Coach. Mike, we'll get
Thanks,
you in here and we'll do the stats and we'll get things out of here. David, I know you've got a final thought, but we'll get out of here quickly. I know it's a late night. Mike, if you'll do the first half or the game statistics, you can just do the Oak Ridge stats if you want, and then we'll wrap this up.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, for the Wildcats, Price Davis scored 6. Garrett Giles was the leading scorer for the Wildcats tonight with 22. Raycon Watson was right on his heels with 18, along with Cooper Williams also had 18. Caden Brightheart had 14, and Gavin Johnson had 3 for the Wildcats to total 81-70 for the final score. Just an outstanding victory. After being behind in the third quarter, 60-58, they rallied there in the fourth quarter and outscored them down the stretch with some technical fouls that really helped the cause for the Wildcats. And it was a really exciting game. I just have thoroughly enjoyed this so much.
And if you'll do the girls' stats, final stats as well.
Okay. For the girls, they were led by Jenna Johnson with 24. Ayanna Porter had 21. Alicia Mitchell had 11. Paige Lawing had 12. Janaea Pippins had 4. And Lindsay Cleveland had 5 for the victorious Lady Wildcats, who won 76-46.
Thank you so much, Mike Sheehan. As always, it's an honor to share a booth with you. I appreciate you making the long journey for this late night game.
All right,
but I love you, buddy, and I appreciate you,
Thank you
doing stuff with me. David, your final thoughts on this game?
Good win for the Wildcats, as Coach Green said. I think, we didn't play our best. I thought defensively, as Coach Green said, and I said it too. I mean, you just can't allow the perimeter game that they had tonight. I mean, they shot lights out, maybe better than they normally do, but you still got to guard them, regardless of the fact whether they've hit them in past games. You still got to guard them once you see them. And I think we struggled in the first half. They got their offense settled in the second half, and I kind of agree. Nothing against Shamar. I think going with the smaller lineup was key. I mean, that we had to match their quickness. Sometimes that lineup for Karns was so quick. I think the big lineup just doesn't work quite as effectively. And I think Coach Green made a great adjustment going with the smaller lineup. And I think that was the key. We started getting stops, and Cooper started getting rebounds. Cooper started scoring. And they didn't hit the shots that they were hitting before, and we just made the plays down the stretch. In the girls' game, just a beautiful win by the Lady Wildcats, and they're all alone in first place. And great job by you, Mike, Titus, John Ulrich. You don't get those names in enough there, Alex, but I appreciate them. And thank you once again for doing the ball game tonight. And thank you, Mark and Shauna and James Branson doing technical work as well. And thank you, Mike and Jeff Henderson.
Absolutely. Couldn't said it better myself. David, final score of the girls' game, Oak Ridge wins 76-46. The boys win 81-70. Both remain perfect and unbeaten in region or district play. That's all for the Wildcats. I'm Alex Myers for Mike Sheehan, John, Titus, Mark and Shauna, all those names that he just mentioned, and, of course, David Clary, the voice of the Wildcats. We'll be back with you Tuesday as Oak Ridge travels to Campbell County. Good night and go Wildcats.